All right. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm glad you could hop on for this quick little live stream. This is my first time doing it, so let me know in the chat right now if you can hear me all right, and if you need me to turn up my audio or anything like that. I'll keep replying to you here and see if it's working for you. I'm so glad that a lot of you are in here in the chat already. A lot of people are getting ready for the CRB application tomorrow, and I'm glad that you can hop in here. I'll answer as many of your questions as I possibly can, but yeah, let's dive into some questions. And just before we start, I don't work with the CRA, so I can't 100% guarantee that all of the information will be 100% accurate, but I've been making a lot of videos about this stuff for the past couple of weeks. So I figured I've read through the bill so many times, I've spent time on the CRA, why don't I take a minute and talk to you guys who have been watching these videos and who have been curious about some of your more intricate questions. And if I can answer any of them and help you out, I figured that would be a good thing to do. All right, I'm glad that you guys can all hear me. I'm seeing that there. There's a little bit of a delay on my end, so if I don't reply to your question right away, it's because I only see them like a minute afterwards or whatever. But let's dive into some questions here. All right, so I'm going to take a look at some of the ones that were given to me at the start just before I started. Just some people have been waiting here. So there's one person asking about a reference code for COV026. I think that was Josh McLean. Josh, if you're still in here... Josh is answering that question. Okay, so it was a question from Sheldon. Yeah, I think Josh has the right answer there. Sometimes you'll get that reference code error when you're trying to apply for the CRB if you were getting the CERB through Service Canada. Now, if you've watched some of my videos, you'll probably know that Service Canada is now just handling EI and that the CRA is handling CRB and CRCB, CRSB. So if you had a claim open for EI, there's a good chance that you won't, that you might get this error code if they're still in the process of changing you over. Or if you still qualify for EI and you're getting that, it's basically saying, hey, dude, you're getting EI, you're not qualified for CRB. So I think that's what that error code is. There's a lot of error codes that I'm not familiar with, but I know that's one reason people are getting them. Okay, scrolling through here. All right. Okay, so I think this is Paramjit Bajwa asking about, hi, can I apply for CRCB if I'm eligible for EI? I know I can apply for both. I want to apply for CRB only as my daughter is 24 months old. Okay, good question. So unfortunately, if you're eligible for EI, that's the only benefit that you can go with. You have to stay in EI and finish your EI, get all of the payments that it can possibly give you before you become eligible for these other benefits. So unfortunately, yeah, you can't choose which one you want to go into. If you're eligible for EI, that's where you've got to be until you finish it. Then you can apply for whatever you qualify for. All right, I'm going to scroll down here and see some other questions here. Explorando. Okay, yeah, I see some of your comments on my other videos, so I'll try to get in here and answer yours. Question: a friend has $9,000 2019 income, independent contractor, gets CRB from March to September. Okay, and he makes on his business up till now $11,400. What annual income can he use in order to determine if he can apply? There are two qualifications, right? The first one is that last year in 2019 or in your past 12 months, you have to have made at least $5,000 in income to be eligible. They use this just to say like, hey, if you weren't making money in the past, your lifestyle is not going to change if you're not making it now, so we're not going to give you this money to support you because it's the same as your situation before, if that makes any sense. So that's the one thing, and it looks like he's passed that $5,000 from 2019. But what I think you might be asking about is the calculation for how much he can make per month in order to still qualify. So you'll remember on the CRB website, if you've watched any of my videos, that there's that 50% limit. So you have to take your past 12 months or your income from 2019, add that all together, divide it by 52, right? That's going to give you your weekly average income. But because CRB is on 2-week basis. You need to take 2 of those 1-week periods, add them together, and then once you've added it together, that'll give you your maximum that you can earn in that CRB 2-week period. I hope that helps you out and makes a little bit of sense. I have a video on that too, has a picture of me like cutting money on it. It's so funny doing the YouTube thumbnails. It's crazy how you need to put your face on there with a funny face, and it helps for people to click on it, but then actually get information that's important. So I think it's worth it to do it. I have fun doing it too. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling down here. One person says, this is not telling. I got all the Serbs. Can I still get CRB? Yeah, you can. If you've gotten all the Serbs, that doesn't necessarily disqualify you from the CRB. You can get all of Serb, all $14,000, I think it was, and you can still get CRB if you qualify for the other things. The qualification for CERB and CRB is a little bit different, and we could probably get into that a little bit more as we go further into the live stream. But as a base, yeah, the Serb and accepting Serb money isn't going to disqualify you by any means for it. Yeah, I'm gonna have my coffee here. Sometimes I talk too fast and I blame it on the coffee. But it gets me through the day. Do you guys drink coffee? Yeah, I couldn't imagine going a day without it. I'm like a 3 or 4 cups kind of guy. Okay, let's see here. Take a look at some other questions. Hello, Russell. This is from Chris Lee. Chris, hey, how's it going? Hello, Russell. I own a restaurant in Montreal. As you may know, we have to close the restaurant till October 28th. Yeah, I heard that cases are up by a lot in Montreal, and I could see the rest of the country going that way too, but I guess we'll see. So you closed your restaurant. Am I eligible for the CRB, or should I apply for EI? Okay, so again, if you qualify for EI, if you read through those qualifications and you are qualified for EI, and perhaps your employer or your business has been paying into employment insurance, and you have enough insurable hours, I think it's 120 insurable hours you need to qualify for EI, then that is the only program you can apply for. You can't apply for CRB or any of those other recovery benefits if you still have EI money that you can depend on. So I hope that helps you, Chris. All right. Okay. So, Ken Blair, I work and I have lost over 50% of my hours, but I also receive some money from Ontario Works. Will I qualify for CRB? Okay, so the first thing, Ken, it's not dependent on how many hours you lose. It's dependent on how much income you lose. So, I've talked a little bit about it before in this stream, and I have a video of it, but you have to calculate what your maximum that you can earn in the 2-week period is by adding up all of your last year's income and then dividing that so that you can get it down to a 2-week average, and that's how much you can make. So that's what determines if you're eligible, among other things. But also, I received money from Ontario Works. Will I qualify for CRB? So now this is a interesting aspect of it, because to the best of my knowledge, if you are on short-term disability, so the Ontario Works program, is that included in your income on your tax statement? Because I think that would be a good indicator on whether or not it applies to your income for each and every given period. It says on the CRB website here, I'm going to take a look at it here just to make sure I'm giving you the right answer. Maybe I'll actually pull it up for you guys to see what I'm doing. We'll give this a try. Here. Okay. Oh, there we go. I hope you guys can see this okay. Yeah, so I get a lot of my information from the CRA website. But yeah, when you go on to here to who can apply for what is included in employment or self-employment income, you include tips that you earn, non-eligible dividends, honoraria such as nominal amounts paid to emergency services, royalties. So that's what you would include, but you don't include pensions, student loans, bursaries, maternity and parental benefits from EI or QPIP. That's the Quebec parental program they have, and then any other emergency benefits. But also when we go to this other page, if I remember correctly, when you're calculating how much you're making in income, it also says that you don't include short-term disability. So it's interesting what's included and what's not, but they use this as a definition for net income. I'm not sure if you can see it too clearly here. I'll try to zoom a little bit. Yeah. So here is net income, and this is what I kind of lean on when I'm deciding if, in my interpretation of all this, if this is included in income. It says that any income that's part of net income for income tax purposes, you can find this on line 23600 of your tax return. So if any of the line items that lead up to line 23600, any of those lines, whatever the category is for that line, would be included in your income. So I use that as a baseline for whether or not something is included. I hope that answers your question a little bit. I'm not as familiar with the Ontario Works program. That's something I need to do a little bit of reading up on, but I hope that gives you a little bit of a better idea there. Okay. Let's keep scrolling down here and see if I can answer any more questions for you. All right. So Yannick Boulanger, that was an awful French accent. I used all my Crb payments, but now I can't apply for the Crb because I make over 50% of my income. Oh, yeah, so not much of a question, but that's a kind of crummy situation. I'm sorry that you're in that situation, Yannick. All right. So this is from Emereza. Hi, does expiring an employment contract qualify for CRB while I look for work since I don't qualify for EI for going back to school? Expiring an employment contract qualify for CRB. Okay, so I don't see anything here that would say, no, you don't qualify for CRB. However, you need to make sure that you qualify for those two aspects of it. The first one is that you haven't willingly reduced your hours or quit since September 27th, 2020. So pretty recently, right? So you can't have willingly left that job after that point and still expect to get CRB. And then on the other hand, you also have to be looking for work in order to receive CRB and be willing to accept that work. Now, the interesting thing is that they use the term reasonable work. And I made a video about this today. For some reason, it didn't get a lot of views, but I think it's pretty pertinent and pretty interesting because I talk a little bit about all of the wiggle room and all of the gray area that's in the wording for this. Because what really is reasonable work, right? Reasonable work, how do you determine that? Like if you're somebody who's immunocompromised, maybe reasonable work to you is working online and you're not going to accept anything but online work. But is that really fair, right? Like it's a gray area and I can't give you the answer for that. I think it's up to your interpretation. But there's a couple different places in this bill or in these benefits that are a little bit subjective there, for sure. All right. Andrea Odd Panda, that's funny. It says, attention, missed the intro. If you're new to the channel, that's so funny. I'll say, hey, if you're new to the channel, how's it going? It's nice to meet you. There you go. That's what I do at the start of every one. Some people have been complaining about those, but I have fun. I like to introduce myself to you guys. All right, so going through here. Expired SIN number. Am I still eligible to apply? This is from I Am Super Rush. So this is an interesting topic, and to tell you, I'm not entirely sure. You'll have to check tomorrow when applications open up because inputting your SIN number is a big part of applying for this, right? Like if you are applying on the CRA website, you'll have had to type in your SIN number while you're registering for it and creating your account. But if you're applying on the phone, you'll have to type in your SIN number on the phone in order to apply. So I'm not sure if they're going to sort of allow you to use your previously expired PIN to put that in, because maybe they'll be able to still see, hey, it's this person and we can verify it's this person. But I think it's going to come down to actually calling and typing in that SIN number and seeing if you get some sort of error. But don't worry, you're not going to have to talk to a person, to the best of my knowledge. I think it's going to be automated. So it'll just be that automated line. You can type in your SIN number. Again, I made a video doing that about a week ago when the CRCB and the CRSB opened up. So I called in and I played on one of the videos what it's going to sound like and what that menu is. So hopefully that can help you out. I'm sort of skipping around here in comments, guys. I apologize if I don't get to yours specifically. There's a bunch here. I'm going to try to touch on as much as I can today. I just want to help you guys out, and I hope my videos and doing a live stream like this the day before will help as many people as it possibly can, because it can be pretty daunting, right? Like, you go to that CRA website, like right here that I just was at. Like, I'll show you again. It's kind of daunting. You go to it, it's just a big wall of text, and it's a lot to absorb, right? So I've spent a bunch of time reading it and a bunch of time going through all the details of it and reading the actual bill. So I'm a kind of a weirdo. I like to read that sort of legal stuff. I work in the real estate industry, so I do a lot of contract reading and a lot of fine print reading. So I think that's why I kind of enjoy it to some extent. But yeah, I hope that these are helping you out, because it can be daunting and pretty anxiety invoking too, I'd say. For certain people. So hopefully it's helpful. Okay, let's get back to these questions. So when do you start getting the money? Okay, so if you apply tomorrow and you're on direct deposit, you have that direct deposit set up from the CRA, it's 3 to 5 business days. So tomorrow's the 12th, so that would be the 15th or the 17th that you could potentially get it, anywhere in that range, 15th to 17th for direct deposit. Now, on the other hand, if you haven't set up that direct deposit and you need to get it mailed to you, you should expect up to 2 weeks, right? More or less, right? A little bit less, a little bit more, depending on how the mail goes. But direct deposit is definitely the quickest way to get your money. All right. Okay. So can we apply at 12 midnight? So I'm going to keep my eye on this. I'm not entirely sure if you can apply at 12 midnight. The CRA is often rather slow with updating their website. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly the website and the phone lines swap over. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Although for me personally, I'm not going to try to call any of the lines or do anything online until the morning, because I'm not really afraid of getting stuck in a line, right? Because if you're coming from the experience of calling the CRA, and I think you know how it can get sometimes, you're sitting there for 2 hours to talk to a person. For the most part, it's going to be automated, right? So I don't foresee you having to sit in a very long line. So I'm just going to apply in the morning. Okay. So this one's from Kazi Rahman. This is, hi Russell, I was in EI February 8th to September 5th and also received Serb in September 18th for period 7. Cool. I'm going to apply for CRB October 12th. Can I apply Serb from 1 to 6 periods in October along with CRB payments? Okay, so that's quite a good question. I made a video yesterday talking about how there are rumors that you'll be able to apply retroactively. I'd seen some comments from people who were watching the videos, and they were saying, hey, I talked to a CRA agent and they said eventually we're going to be able to apply for all of these previous CERB payments. But I went to the website, and this is what the conclusion I came to on the video was that that you could only apply for period 7 retroactively based on the information I was getting from the website. Now, I was talking to my buddy in the comments. This is Nick's Taxes. He's a great YouTuber. He has a lot of quality content on this sort of topic too. And he made a video recently that says October 19th, you'll be able to call in or go on the website to get those retroactive CERB payments. So hopefully that's the case. I'm not exactly sure where he got the information, if he called the CRA to get that. But if October 19th is the case, then I think that's all around a good thing. I think they probably took it off the website. for this short little time as they were rolling out these new benefits, just so that their systems weren't overloaded by all the huge demand of people getting all these back dates and all of these new benefits. I could see why they kind of are trying to span it out a little bit. Well, I have my sip of coffee here. I'm going to take a quick breather. I want to know where you guys are tuning in from. I imagine everybody's in Canada. If you're from a different country and you're tuning in and enjoying this, let me know in the comments, because I think this is pretty Canada specific. But yeah, let me know where you're coming from. It'd be cool if we could get representation from every single province in here, every single province and territory. That would be pretty sweet. But yeah, I see a comment in here, and since it's on the topic, I said I was going to take a break. Jeez. Ask him if I'm from Toronto. Yeah, so I'm from the Toronto area. I'm in the GTA. I live, my house is about a half hour to 45 minutes east of the city. So that's where I live. Yeah, but I lived in Toronto downtown for probably about 5 years while I was going to school. And you'll hear in a couple of the videos that I've put out that before I was working in the real estate industry, I was actually a professional musician downtown. I played jazz saxophone in a whole bunch of bands in the city, and played at the bars. And yeah, it's definitely tough out there for my friends who are still in that industry, because there's not many gigs going on right now. All right. Let me see here. And again, I apologize if I miss your comment. I'm kind of skipping around the comments here to see for things that are going to be applicable to a lot of people. Okay. So, are there any clawbacks in Ontario on the CRB? Okay, that's a good question. So, any clawbacks in Ontario? So, by clawbacks, I'm going to assume you're meaning, are we going to have to pay back any of this money? And that's going to be different on a case-by-case basis. But for everybody, the overall answer is yes. You will 100% have to pay back some money. So many of you will know that the CRB, it's holding back 10% taxes. So that's why you're only getting $1,800 instead of the $2,000 you got from CERB. However, everybody has to pay back some money in taxes on the CRB and the CERB, depending on what their tax bracket is. Now, I'm not an accountant or a tax expert, but I would imagine that most people are around that 15% tax bracket. So even on the $1,800 that you're getting from the government, and they've said they've held back taxes, you're going to have to pay back 5% more than what they've withheld if you're in that 15% tax bracket. So just because they said, oh, we withheld taxes, don't assume that you can spend all of it willy-nilly and you're not going to have to pay it back, because come April 30th of 2021, which is the tax deadline for next year, if I remember correctly, you're going to have to pay that back on top of your typical income tax. And if you receive CERB, you're going to have to pay back that full amount, not just 5%, 15%, right? If that's your tax bracket, because they didn't withhold anything on CERB. So hopefully that answers that question. And other clawbacks, if you make more than the $38,000 cap, then for every dollar over it, you're going to have to pay back 50 cents. So say you received some CRB money, like maybe $10,000, and then let's say you earned $48,000 in the year, and that could include CERB money as well. If you earned $48,000, but the cap was 38, then you're going to have to pay back $5,000 of your CRB, because that's 50 cents on the dollar of the $10,000 over the cap that you made, right? $48,000 minus $38,000, that'll give you $10,000. 50 cents on the dollar would be $5,000 that you'd have to pay back. So that's the biggest clawback, right? So you got to be monitoring your income all year to make sure you're not going to have to deal with a really, really hefty income tax time, because that's when you're also going to have to pay back these clawbacks. All right. Thanks for the questions, you guys. This is awesome. Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing some answers here. We got Langley, BC, Maddie, and we've got Iran Explain living in Toronto, and Harry in Montreal. Hey, Motion. Yeah. I'm in the Durham region. You got it. Montreal, Atlanta. Okay. We got somebody from Atlanta, USA. All right. Cool. Oh, all right. Peterborough, Ontario, Play Together Gaming. That's awesome. I drive through Peterborough. My folks live up north. They've retired now. So whenever I go to visit the family, I'll drive through Peterborough up into cottage country and hang out with them a little bit. They left the city and are now living the good life up in the forest. Okay. Hamilton. Cool. Awesome. All right. So let's get back into some questions. All right. So Michael Doyle says, if I'm already set on EI, can I switch to CRB? I have over 900 insured hours, and I was on CERB already. I'm looking for work and may have a job. Yeah, so Michael, you might have missed it a little bit earlier in the stream, buddy, but the way that it's going to work is that if you're eligible for EI, you have to do all of EI before you can switch over to any of these benefits. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Oh, cool. All right, we've got an aspiring CPA in the chat. Nikhil, thanks for tuning in, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. And yeah, CPA, I love numbers. And my mom, she was an accountant for years and years and years. So yeah, I like to think that I get some of my love for numbers from her. But yeah. Okay, so more questions. I'm trying to get ones that we haven't really touched on. That's why I'm pausing here for a second. Some sort of unique situations. So we've got one here that says, I worked as a student employee in 2019 for the summer. I earned over $5,000, so I got CERB. Cool. Will I need to apply for EI or the CRB? I don't have a record of employment from my employer applying for CRB. Okay, yeah. So if you worked for the summer, you may not have been paying into the EI program. So in that case, you could be eligible for CRB. That being said, you have to meet all those other requirements. So make sure that you maybe check out some of my videos, read the CRA website. That's the number one thing I'd recommend to people. But some people find that a little bit daunting. So video format works out for a lot of people. All right. So yeah, so I think CRB would be your best bet if you're not eligible for EI. I would verify with your employer, though, that they weren't paying into EI for you. But if it was a summer position, I think it's kind of unlikely. All right, we've got Harry Mesrob here. He's saying, I claimed CERB through CRA for the entire duration. Cool. Last week, as per government instructions, I applied via Service Canada for EI COVID report. Is this the right way to go? So yes, it is. If you are eligible for EI, you've got to apply through Service Canada now, right? If you're not eligible for EI, then you'll be back to using the CRA online portal to do all of your calculations there and all of your maybe not calculations, but all of your applying for these new benefits. All right. So I've got can I apply for CRB in the bracket 38,000? That's from Ben D. I'm not really sure what you're asking there. The cap is $38,000. If you've made less than that, you can certainly apply if you meet the other requirements. And also if you've made over that, you can apply, but you'll have to pay some of it back. But in the period you're applying, you can't be making over that 50% drop in income, if that makes sense. So it's not a hard cap, right? Like you can keep making money over 38K if you're making small incremental bits. But generally, if you've made 38K, you're probably not going to be eligible depending on what your income was last year. So that's just something to think about. Okay, we've got a question from Danushka. Hi, Russell, can international students working part-time apply for the benefit? Yeah, there's nothing that says that if you're working part-time or if you're a student that you can't apply for the benefit. But if you're an international student, you would need to have a valid SIN number, right? You'd have to reside in Canada. You don't necessarily need to be a citizen, but you have to meet all of those requirements that are on the CRA website. So I'd go in there and check that out. But yeah, the fact that you're a student and that you're working part-time, neither of those disqualify you. That's for sure. LET says, hello. Hey, Ellie, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. And thanks to all of you for tuning in. I hope this is a little bit helpful for you. I came into this room and I like to kind of work on the videos. And I was thinking, okay, like what other information could these guys be interested in? And just like, you know what? why don't I just go on a live stream and answer questions live, because I'll probably be able to cover a lot more doing this than just doing the one video that I'd probably wait till tomorrow to post. So with everything changing tomorrow and it opening up, I just thought this is a good idea. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you guys enjoy, and maybe we can talk about some doing this in the future if you still have some questions. Okay. All right. So I just got told by government that I got to self-isolate because someone I work with tested positive. Oh, pure Gosu. I'm sorry to hear that. That's kind of crummy. But I guess, yeah, you gotta stay inside and make sure, because if you've been in close contact, then that's probably a good idea. All right. Nirvana 777. I quit December and applied for all Serb. How much will I need to pay back? So you're going to have to pay back whatever your income tax bracket is, right? So for most people, that's 15%. So 15% of your entire total Serb, you could do that calculation. I don't have my calculator up and I'm not a math whiz, but 15% of $14,000. Okay, I'll try it. $14,000 is 14. Oh, okay. So should be, am I right in thinking, okay, I'm clearly not a math whiz. Somebody say it in the comments. What's that calculation? I'm not good on the spot. But you're gonna have to pay back some of it. I think that that should go on Reddit's r/livestream fails. That I think that my math skills right there. All right. So okay. Ryan Fishman says, best way to collect EI if you're still working? Slack off? ? I think if you're still working, you won't be eligible for EI, and slacking off probably wouldn't help you out too much with that. If you have a job, I've said this in a couple of videos, even if it feels crummy right now that you're not qualifying for these benefits because you still have a job and you don't meet the qualifications, I would really be counting my blessings right now. I've talked to so many people and they're struggling to get jobs, and you know that this CRB, the CRCB, CRSB, this is only going to span 1 year, right? This is going to span 1 year from September to September, right? Or like late September to late September. So the problem with that is you can only apply for a maximum of 6 months. So people who are really struggling right now, they're going to be applying every single period, every single 2-week period, coming back and applying. But after 6 months, that's going to run out. And my personal thought is that if it runs out after 6 months, but the government's already told you, hey, this is what you got for the year, then a lot of people are going to be pretty screwed after 6 months. And maybe that's a video I'll make soon or in the future, talking about my biggest concern. And I think that's one of them, right? That people don't recognize that this isn't for a full year. You're going to get it for 6 months and then nada, right? So that's why I recommend to people, if you can at all, supplement your income, or maybe you have a significant other you're living with, try to only apply for one period per month. So 1 2-week period per month, because at that point you can make it stretch the entire year if you still haven't gotten a job. Of course, you're living on a lot less money doing that, but there's no guarantee that there's going to be any additional support once you're through your 13 periods worth of applications for this. So that's definitely a concern for, in my mind, for a lot of people. All right. Hey, Sarah Lynn. Hello. I am currently on maternity leave, which ends in December. I have a job, but don't feel comfortable going back with having a baby under a year. Could I qualify for the Caregiver EI? All right. So the Caregiver EI, so by that, I think you mean the CRCB, the Canada Recovery Caregiver Benefit. And so, yeah, so that's meant for people who have jobs, which you do, who need to take care of somebody for COVID-related reasons. And let me get more specific on this, because COVID-related is pretty broad, and I just posted a video about how that kind of language is pretty frustrating when they use it. But luckily, the CRSB, or the CRCB rather, has a lot more detail in that section. Let me pull it up here and I'll find exactly your answer. But just to answer it quickly, I think that that because it's for childcare, but it's not necessarily because the kid has COVID, or because someone in your family has COVID or has been recognized as immunocompromised, I think you could be having a hard time applying for the CRCB. But because of some of the loose language in the CRB, depending on how you interpret it, you could potentially qualify for that if you're looking for work that's reasonable. Again, it's loose language, and I'm not going to give you any hard and fast interpretations of that loose language just because I'm not an expert. And again, as a disclaimer for this whole stream, I'm trying to give you the information that I've got over the past while. But really, when it comes down to it, you need to take a look at it for yourself and see how you interpret these benefits, because that's what really matters. And that's you should be doing that because it's a big decision for you, and you shouldn't just be taking some guy on the internet's advice about this stuff. I think you should read it for yourself and develop your opinions on what you think it really means. But that being said, I said we were going to take a look at the CRCB and how you qualify for it. So this will be just 2 minutes for those of you here for the CRB, but we're going to take a look at this. I'll full screen it. I'm going to zoom so you can see it. So yeah, this is where I get all my information usually from the CRA, but who can apply for the CRCB? So this is open now. You're unable to work 50% because you're caring for a family member. So you have to be caring for them for one of the following reasons. It has to be one of these reasons. So their school daycare day program care facility is closed or unavailable because of COVID-19. So that doesn't really work out for you, Sarah. Regular care services are unavailable. Again, doesn't really work for you in your situation. A person under your care is sick with COVID, symptoms of COVID, at serious health complications if they get COVID-19, as advised by a medical professional, or is self-isolating due to COVID-19. So these people can be the ones to tell you that you qualify for that. So if you are going to go down the CRCB route, then I would recommend talking to somebody on this list, maybe your doctor, if you have a family doctor, maybe your baby's doctor, if you can get in touch with them and see like, hey, do you recommend that we stay home? And maybe they'd be able to help you out and give you some sort of written documentation so that if the CRA ever comes knocking, you can prove that it was valid, so you don't have to pay it back. That would be my advice to you, Sarah. I hope that helps you out at least a little bit. But yeah, it might be tricky based on what you're telling me. Okay. Again, I hope this is helping you guys out. I've never done a live stream like this before, but I think it's a good way for me to stay in touch with you guys and see what you're really interested in. Okay. So we just replied to Sarah. Let's see. I'm sorry guys if I skip over your comment. I'm not trying to. Just this scrolling mechanism to go through chat. Sometimes I miss some. All right. Okay, so you mentioned we could apply after 12 months instead of the last year earnings. Is that right? Because after December is better for me. Yeah. So that's what you can do. You can choose 2019's earnings, or you can choose your past 12 months. So the situation where that would be better for you is if January, February, and maybe the first half of March, before all of this stuff went down, if you had a really, really good income month there, but then it all went in the can with COVID, then it would be best to use your past 12 months, right? Because then you can include those months, but also the 9 months before that as well. Right. Or past 12 months would be from now. So, so you would be able to go from start of October 2020 all the way back to start of October 2019. So that number could be higher for you, which would allow you to make more per week, or per 2 week period. Right. So you're going to want to take the higher number of that when you're doing your calculations so that you can make the most that you can and still qualify legally for CRB. I hope that helps you out. All right. Yeah, we have somebody saying we only have 2 thumbs but 200 people watching. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind taking a second, give a like, or what, I don't know what you can even do on a live stream. Click like, all those buttons, because if you tap that button, I think it'll help get more people in here and we can help more people out. All right. Nirvana, yeah, we appreciate your information. Thanks so much, dude. I'm glad it's helping out. All right. Can university students get CRB if reduced hours to 0 in August? Yes, you can get CRB even if you're a university student, as long as you meet all the other qualifications. So that's going to be my disclaimer, right? You have to go to the website or check out the video that I made called, I forget what the title was, but it says CRB guide with me making a face like on the channel like that. Again, I love making those silly looking thumbnails, but that has all of the information about CRB and should answer most of your questions. But yeah, being a university student and being maybe laid off or lowered hours doesn't necessarily disqualify you from it. Oh man, I need more coffee apparently. I just had my Thanksgiving lunch today with my family. We're trying to socially distance and do all of that. So we went to my uncle's place and we had a lunch because it's going to be pretty cold if we try to go. And we decided to do it outside just to take all precautions because we have some people who are more at risk in the family. So we went outside, so that's why we did a lunch so that the sun would be out. So it was good. But I'll tell you that tryptophan, I think it is in the turkey, that's the stuff that makes you sleepy. It's definitely needing some coffee to repair. Some cold coffee now. It's okay. I have it black, so I can have it hot or cold. How do you guys take your coffee? Any black drinkers like me? Drop a comment. I love my coffee black, man. All right. So this is from Yan Hizgalov. Sorry if I butcher your name. If I have a job but got laid off, do I still need to search for a job if I apply for CRB? Yeah. So this is my interpretation of it, Yan, is that if you still have a job, it says you have to be looking for work, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean work outside of your current employer. If you show that you're trying to increase your hours and you're trying to get your employer to give you more hours for every period that you're applying, then in my interpretation, that could be sufficient, right? So that's what I think. All right. But again, read it for yourself. There's some loose language in there. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, thanks for hitting the thumbs up button, guys. I'm seeing people comment that now. That's super helpful. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this to help as many people. And hit the subscribe button if you're just popping in, so you can keep up to date with all the stuff that we've got going on the channel. All right. So we've got more questions here. All right, this is from Sebastian Rojas. People that started self-employment before March and affected by COVID, can they still get CRB? Started before March and affected by COVID, can they still get CRB? Yeah, so in my interpretation, yes. This is another thing that sort of has loose language in the way that they write it. If you haven't checked out my video after we're done this live stream, check out the most recent one that I posted. It kind of has a little bit of a clickbaity title, but what it's really about is all of the sort of loose language and potential loopholes that are in, or not loopholes, but things that are open to interpretation inside of the bill. And this is one of those things, right? If you're self-employed, it says you need to be looking for self-employed work. But what does that really mean, right? Looking for self-employed work could somebody like for me, I am an awful drawer or painter or visual artist, right? I'm a music guy, but for this example, I'm pretty bad at art. Could I technically, if I didn't want to go to work, could I say, you know what, I've started up an art sales business and I'm going to draw a picture every day and try to sell it? Does that qualify you as being self-employed? Right? What is the CRA really going to do to determine that? Now, I wouldn't recommend you do that because in my interpretation, that is total ill will of what the benefit is. And I think that's kind of scamming it. And if the CRA comes knocking, I think that they think the same thing too. But I don't know how the CRA is going to really look into that right now. And so that's one of my concerns. I'm not sure how we got. Yeah. So started self-employment. So if you started a legitimate self-employment business and you're trying to make it work and you can show that this has been in your plans and that this is actually truly what you've been doing and trying to do, I'd say that you don't need to look for another job while you're in your business that you're still trying to grow, right? You can still get the CRB if your self-employment business is affected by COVID. Yeah. Okay. Rasmi Mantilla. Okay. Hey, Russell, I saw the video you posted about fraud. Yeah, that was an important one. I won't be applying for CRB as I am in Mexico until the end of the year. Yeah, I think that's a good call for you, Rasmi, because it does say that you have to be in Canada for at least some of the period. That's another loose language part. It doesn't say how many days of the period you have to be there, but it does say you need to be present in Canada. It doesn't say the whole time, but again, open for interpretation. This is a pretty interesting way to phrase it, right? And I'm pretty frustrated, and I said this in the video I made today, but I'm pretty frustrated that the language is so loose, because on the one hand, maybe it's opening it up so that more people can apply because it's open to interpretation. But on the other hand, I know a lot of people that have been having a lot of anxiety about whether or not they can legitimately apply, right? Because the language is so loose, and because the guidelines that they've given us are open for interpretation, it makes it pretty darn difficult to know for sure that your unique situation is accurate. So if they had given us more firm language, I really think that would have been helpful to sort of ease some people's concerns, right? Like for CERB, I think that the guidelines were a little bit easier to understand than some of the loosely worded stuff in this bill. So that's the one thing that I'm frustrated. Like, I'm glad the bill's here and it's here helping people, but it's pretty difficult to interpret in my eyes, and it can be interpreted in multiple ways, right? Okay, again, guys, thank you so much for hopping in here and dropping your comments in there and hitting the like button. That's hugely helpful. I apologize in advance if I don't get to your question. I'm trying to touch on as many different topics as I can, so yeah, I'm sorry if I don't get to your question, but I'm trying to help as many people as I can here. All right, Kev G, nice. Another person who drinks black coffee. All right, that's where it's at, man. I'm finished now, but yeah, this was just a big old cup of black coffee. When I'm filming my videos, usually I have like a desk right here, and this is just a webcam on my computer, right? But I have a desk right here, and I'm usually sipping on some black coffee as I'm making the videos. Yeah, Zaga says I don't drink coffee. Probably smart. I'm an addict at this point. I get headaches and all that crazy withdrawal stuff if I go a day without it. I'm glad that I don't do heroin or do some sort of drug. Oh man, I think I would get addicted pretty quickly based on my coffee habits. Man, oh man. Jeff Nam, you're a wholesome dude and we appreciate your efforts. Oh, thank you, man. I love the positive comments from people. I'm glad to be helping. All right, here's a question from Ben D. I work 2 jobs. One is on payroll and reduced hours, and other job work is self-employed, and it's really down with cash flow. Am I eligible to get CRB through CRA? Okay, so you work 2 jobs. That's totally cool. You can still apply for CRB if you're working 2 jobs. And even if it's self-employed and you have low cash flow, the deciding factor is going to be how much you're making currently compared to how much you made in 2019 or over the past 12 months. So yeah, earlier in the stream, we talked about how you can calculate that. I also have a video on it. I'm cutting a $20 bill like this on the thumbnail. So if you want to know how to calculate if you're making more than your limit, then check that video out. Okay. DJ Ryder's got a question here talking about COVID 026, the error, or the COV 026 error code on the CRA website. Yeah, so I'm not familiar with every single error code, but I would wait until tomorrow, because I think a lot of the error codes are coming from the fact that, for one, it's not open yet, and for two, some people who are being transferred from the Service Canada system over to the CRA system, I think that there's sort of something going on with how that information is being processed and transferred over. So don't panic until you go in there tomorrow and see the error codes, and at that point, drop some comments on my videos. I try to reply to them, and we'll try to make a library of what those could potentially mean and could potentially be. All right, this is from Paramjeet Sidhu. Hello, brother. My EI over a month ago. Can I play CRB? Yeah, so I think you're asking if your EI ended, can you apply for CRB? Yep, you can if you qualify for the other aspects of it too. But just having been on EI doesn't disqualify you, so that's good. All right. So I've got another question here. Hi, Russell. Is it mandatory to file your taxes to RCV? So I think to receive the CRB. My CRA account is blocked for that reason. Should I just apply by phone? Yeah, so this is tricky, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure on this if your taxes need to be up to date. I would imagine it would be certainly easier if they were, because you'd be able to grab that 2019 income number, and the CRA could potentially verify you. But if they're not letting you into your CRA account, you could try to do it over the phone as well and see if just entering your SIN number and that information could get you through. But I'd try to get your taxes finished up pretty soon too, because if you've had to pay any amount back to the government, then it could be a good bit of interest you could be paying on that money. So that's not too great. All right. Yeah, thanks for all the comments, you guys. Yeah, try black, never want to go back. That's definitely the case for coffee. Yeah, I'm a big fan of black coffee. And only black coffee. Yes, that's so good. I don't like coffee with like triple. I've had some friends who drink triple coffee. So only black for me. Yeah. All right. So guys, I'm going to take a quick pause here. Literally like less than 1 minute. I'm going to throw up that starting soon screen again just for a second. But I'm just going to grab a glass of water, and I'm going to come right back and answer your questions. So stick around, and I'll be right back, literally 15 seconds. What did I say? Was that 15 seconds or what? I think that's maybe a little bit more. That's some good water. I think I talk more during the live stream than I do when I'm filming the videos. All right. Okay. Let's get back to it. I hope you guys have had a good Thanksgiving weekend so far. I know that I have, so I hope that applying tomorrow goes pretty easily for you. All right. Okay. So here's a question from Darren Ovadia. Hi, great channel. Thanks, dude. Working in the U.S. until February. Now I'm back in Canada. Would I qualify for CRB or CERB from before? I'm currently not working now. So I could be wrong on this, but I think that the CERB is the same. Oh, wait. So you came back in February and you've been in Canada since. Okay, cool. So you could qualify for the CERB if you met all those requirements, right? Like I'd recommend going to the CRA website. You can just type in CERB to Google. I'm pretty sure that there must be some sort of agreement where Google's always going to rank the government pages up top because it's usually the first one. So you can click there and find out if you're eligible. But you could be, for CERB, CRB, as long as you meet all those other criteria. All right. So we've got one from Craig W.R. Owaskow. Yeah, I've talked to you a bunch in the comments. Thanks for watching all the videos, dude. I appreciate that you're watching. Hope it's helped you out. So Craig, after applying for the CSRB on the 5th, do you think there will be an issue with applying for CRB tomorrow? Thank you so much for all your great work, buddy. So unfortunately, I do think that will be an issue. One of the terms to make you eligible for CRB is that you haven't received any other benefit during that period for the CRB. So given the fact that you applied for the CSRB on the 5th, and the 5th would likely be included in this upcoming CRB period that we're about to apply for, then I would say that does disqualify you for this period, right? You can wait until next period and switch to CRB, but if you are on the CRSB for that October 5th period, it would likely disqualify you. So you may need to take another week of CRSB, right? Because those ones are chunked up into 1 week segments instead of 2, if I remember correctly. So yeah, sorry, that's kind of bad news for you, Craig, but hope it works out for you, man. Okay. All right, thanks. Oh yeah, that's awesome. We've got people saying thanks, everyone in the comments for answering some questions too. That's awesome and so helpful. I'm glad we have people in here that are helping out, and yeah, again, I'm glad there's all this information out there helping out, and for me and for everyone in the comments that's helping out, that's awesome. I'm glad to bring information. You guys keep bringing the information too. But for everybody in here, I would recommend reading the CRA website yourself, because there's a lot of loose language in here, and you kind of need to read it yourself to interpret how you take it, right? So take the information we're giving and go and make that decision for yourself. That would be my recommendation. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and that comment was from Tammy B, thanking everyone in the comments. Yeah, that's awesome, Tammy. I'm glad you got your answers, hopefully. All right, we've got Death Punch D. Death Punched. Okay. I like that name. Skull and crossbones for your profile picture too. Okay, the question is, if your spouse is on assistance, can I claim CRB? Short answer is yeah, that doesn't necessarily disqualify you. You have to qualify for all the other reasons, but the fact that your spouse is on assistance doesn't disqualify you. There's not much that crosses over between partners, right? Like a lot of people are curious about how does this work with your household, right? Is it a household $38,000 cap? No, it's for an individual, and most things are just about the individual. But for the CRCB, the caregiver benefit, it is per household. Okay, so you can't have two people claiming the CRCB at the same time in the same household. Okay, also multiple people in the same household, they will both contribute to the same 26-week cap. Okay, so that's one of the things that is for both you and your spouse, and for your family, right? You gotta make sure that that's what's going on. Is that it's a combined thing for the CRCB. I hope I didn't confuse you there. I just rambled a little bit, but hope that helps. Can international students apply if all eligibility met? Yeah, if you're eligible for every single thing on the website, then you're eligible, straight up. Okay. All right. So do people on ODSP qualify for CRB? And that's a comment from Joe. So I'll put this disclaimer out there at first. I'm not an ODSP specialist. I don't know the program inside and out. But my view of it is that if your ODSP money that you usually receive qualifies as income, then you're going to have to use that income when you're doing your calculations for whether or not you're eligible. And then if you're eligible, you could potentially be, because it does say that sometimes you're not eligible if you're on short-term disability, but ODSP, if I'm not mistaken, is a long-term disability program. So my thought is that it wouldn't necessarily disqualify you, but again, I'm not a huge expert, so don't take my word for it on that one. I wish I could be more help to you, Joe, but that's something I'm going to have to do more reading on. Like I said, I've done some in-depth reading on the CRB and these benefits. The two things I really need to dive into next are EI, ODSP, and these other things, so that I can help people like you who need this sort of information. And I mean, the information's out there, but I think what's been helpful about some of the videos that I've brought is that it's a little bit easier to digest, right? If it's in video format. So yeah, sorry I can't help you out more there, but I'm going to learn more about it. I swear. Okay. So can I work for a company in the US remotely being self-employed? Yeah. So that wouldn't disqualify you. That doesn't take you away from any of the requirements. And that's from Sebastian Rojas again. So yeah, I think you'd be fine. I actually did the same sort of thing when I was in the music industry, and if there was a slow month, I had a job teaching English online. It was for a US company, but I'd teach a bunch of students in other countries how to speak English from like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. So that was fun to do. But that's a similar situation where, even if it's a US company you're working for, if you meet all the other qualifications, I don't see a problem for that. Okay, we have another question here from Sarah saying, can you explain how much you'll have to pay back for the CERB? We talked about it a little bit earlier in this live stream, but for CERB, you're going to have to pay back whatever your income tax bracket is, right? So if the rate you pay on your income taxes is 15%, you're going to have to pay back 15% on your CERB money, just like because you just treat it like income, right? It'll be lumped together with all the other money you make, and you'll pay whatever tax you normally would every year on that money as well, because it's lumped in there as income tax. And again, for taxes, that's you can sort of write off certain things depending on what business you're in. So it's not 100% of that you would need to pay back if you have some credits or some things you can write off. But that's a question for an accountant or a video for another day once I read into it more. Okay, so we've got a question from SWP. So it's Russell, do you know if landlord counts as self-employed, not one who has registered the buildings as a company? Therefore, claim CRB because I can't pay the bills and I'm searching for work now. This is an interesting question. And again, I'm going to go back to my default answer that does that income that you could potentially get as a landlord, does that show as your personal income, your employment income, or your self-employment income? Because that's what they consider, right? That's what they consider income for the purposes of calculating this. So if that doesn't apply to your personal income, self-employment income, then I would say that you could be safe for the CRB. That's my interpretation based on everything I've read. Double check for yourself, but that's my interpretation for sure. Okay. Ahmed Muhammad says, you're doing a great job. Thank you, buddy. I'm having fun doing this live stream. I hope I'm coming across clearly to you guys. I don't really do this kind of thing talking in front of a bunch of people all the time. I know I do for the YouTube videos, but you can edit it. But maybe this is nice too, because you get an idea of who I am a little bit more as a person. And I kind of get to interact with you a little more directly. Like I've been replying to comments, but it's nice to have this little bit of feedback. And Joe, I'm glad it's helping you out, man. All right, H1Z1 trial and error. Okay, H1Z1, is that a video game? I don't know. Hey, first of all, you do great videos. Thank you. I'd like to know if the call center for the CRA will be open tomorrow, as I have a hard time with computers. To the best of my knowledge, yes. The call center will be open. It will be automated when you call the numbers. But yeah, a lot of people have been saying like, hey, why did they choose Thanksgiving Monday to open all this stuff up? But yeah, it's going to be automated for your application. So you don't need to worry about them being as heavily staffed. Now, if you have some questions about the benefits, that could be where you get into trouble tomorrow, because I'm guessing everybody applying at once and call centers potentially, like the in-person people, potentially being lower staff or maybe closed. It might be. I'm not 100% sure on that. You might have some trouble getting in there. So hopefully some of these ideas that I'm giving you can give you something to think about, so you can maybe answer some of those questions for yourself that you would have need to ask, because you could be in line for a long time trying to call the CRA. Okay. Yeah, Numismatic King says, what made you put all this information? You would think the government would do this, but we're getting our information off YouTube. Yeah, I mean, the government did put out all the information. Like I'm not telling you anything that you can't find on the CRA website, but I think what I am doing that's helpful for people is making it a little bit more palatable, a little bit easier to absorb, right? It can be tricky to stare at that wall of text and get a good idea of what's going on. And plus, some of that text is not even everything you need to know. In order to get an idea, I've had to kind of go in and search for the bill C4, the one that actually has all of the legal jargon and written in almost contract form. Again, that's what I do. I'm working in the real estate sales industry, and investing industry is my full-time job. So I'm kind of used to reading through contracts like that, but I've gone through and read Bill C4. So, but yeah, all the information is out there for you to get on your own, but I'm glad that this is easier for people to understand in some cases. Yeah, I'm seeing some comments here. People, I've missed some questions, and I apologize for that. It's hard to keep track of it all visually as the chat scrolls by. I'm doing my best to get to as many as I can here, but again, I apologize if I miss a comment. I think I might do more of these live streams in the future, but I'm gonna keep going for a little while here because, yeah, it's only 8:30. Come on, only 8:30. It's only been an hour. I can do this for a while. I figure it's a good time to put a little bit of effort into working on this and answering your questions, because tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's the big day, right? Okay. So, all right, we've got Bilal Chaudhry. I think this is the first one in your thread. I had applied for EI before March 15th, and then it transferred to Serb, but also said it was EI and I was receiving $2,000 every 2 weeks. Is it still possible I can get CRB? Okay, and then you posted 2 more times so I could see it. Okay, yeah, not the best strategy. Try not to spam your questions in there, but I'll try to see them when I can. So it's unclear to me if you were receiving EI and that $2,000 was your amount, or if you were simply receiving CERB, Serb, via Service Canada, right? Now Service Canada is only EI, and now CRA is only CRB, Serb, all of these new benefits. So you need to confirm if that's EI that you're currently receiving, or if it's was just CRB payments. Because if you're still on EI and still receiving that money, you're not qualified for CRB. But if that payment has ended, then you could potentially be open for CRB, because if you were ever applied through Service Canada, then you would be automatically switched to the new EI program, right? Because they have all your information. They can determine that if you're eligible for EI. So that would be my recommendation. If you're getting EI right now, sorry, no CRB for you. But if you're not getting it anymore, there's a good chance that you could apply for CRB if you meet everything else. Okay. All right, let's take a look. Trying to find more questions here from you guys. Again, I'm sorry when I'm missing them. I feel so bad when I miss them. I'm trying to scroll around and find ones I haven't talked about. Rog Fred says, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there too. All right. Zach Gazal says, please reach out to me, Russell. I'm a mortgage broker. Hey, if you have any questions or anything you want to know about or work together in the future, shoot me an email to my email. It's on my channel, but it's Russell, 2 S's, 2 L's at askrussell.ca. Not the best place to get in touch with me for CRB related questions, but for other business inquiries, that's the best way. The best way here is, I think this live stream is the best way to get your answers about CRB. Doing my best here to get through everything. Arman says, can I apply for CRB if I made my $5,000 outside of Canada? I moved back to Canada in March 2020. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Did you pay that $5,000? Was that like on your income taxes from 2019? Like, did you pay your Canadian income taxes? Because that could affect things. But if you made your money in a different country, but you also paid income tax in Canada, then I can't see why that would be a problem for making that $5,000, but just from a different country, right? Like I said before, if you do contract work online for a company in the States, you're still making that money, and it's still money that you were living on, so you should still be able to qualify. That would be my understanding. And thanks so much for tuning in and watching, you guys. I hope it's helping you. If you've gotten any information that's helped you out, hit the like button on this stream, because the more people we can get in here asking questions and helping out, the better. I think a lot of people are struggling right now in interpreting all this stuff. So yeah, drop a like down there and share this with anybody who might have a question. I'm going to probably do this for probably another half hour or so. Okay. So, will the automated phone call for CRB be for every period? So, this is an interesting question, because if you ask most people, they would say yes, right? On the website, it says you can apply in 2 ways. But this is some sort of insider information that I got when I called in for my video that I made about calling in for the CRCB. I called that automated number, and it's something I'm going to make a video about. But on that line, it says, hey, do not wait, make a CRA account, because we may close the phone lines at some point. It said that, maybe not in those exact words, but it said, do not wait, make a CRA account, because these phone lines might not be open forever. So do with that information what you will, but that is what it said on the video, and you can hear it in the video if you go check it out. If you want to see that video and hear exactly what they said on the phone, go into my channel, and it's like I think I'm like kind of like pointing in the thumbnail. I'm pointing down at like a phone, and it says hello, and it has CRB there, so you can kind of see that video, and that's where I call in and where I got that information. All right. Hi, Russell. This is from Paramjeet. Can I apply for CRB if I'm eligible for EI? I want to apply for CRB. I know I can't apply for EI. Wait. I'm confused by that. If you're eligible for EI, you can't apply for any of the recovery benefits. That's the hard and fast idea. If you can't apply for EI because you're not qualified for it, then you could potentially be good for CRB. All right, so we've got, could it be possible to take 4 weeks / 28 days for EI to make a decision on our claims? Yeah, so this is the tricky thing that I think a lot of people are struggling with. I've gotten questions saying, hey, can I get the CRB while I'm waiting on the Service Canada, who's been kind of moving slow on approving my EI? I'm not sure how long it's going to take. And that can be frustrating and kind of scary for people, because they are expecting money in their accounts and they need this kind of support, but you don't know when it's going to come. So it's a tricky situation, because if you're eligible for EI, you technically shouldn't be applying for CRB, right? Yeah, I think that's all. I think that there's you have to sort of weigh that situation and how you want to handle it for yourself. I think that there are ways that you could receive some support to stretch over that, but I don't know how. It depends on how you personally interpret what you read on the CRA website. So give that a good read, and maybe look into my video about what the penalties could be for a fraudulent CRB application, and what could happen, and what those penalties could be, and when you'd have to pay it back, and if there'd be any penalties. I have that video that has like my face is like something like that. It says CRB fraud. Again, I make those silly faces in the thumbnails because more people click on the videos if you have that funny face, and I figure more people clicking on the videos, more people getting information they need. So I always do the dumb faces. I have fun doing it too, though, so I can't complain. It's kind of fun to make those. Man, I downed that. The next break I'd take is probably going to be a bathroom one at this point. A cup of coffee and a full one of water. All right. Okay. So GW says, hi, Russell. If I've exhausted my EI payments in May, can I apply for the CRB? Yep. If you're qualified for the other problems, EI or other problems, if you're qualified for the other aspects of CRB, if you meet all the criteria, you're good to go. EI, receiving it in the past, doesn't disqualify you. Receiving it now, or being qualified for it now, does disqualify you from the CRB. Yeah, Parva has a similar question. 227 insurable hours on your ROE. So EI is the program for you, not CRB, because you have over that minimum amount of insured hours. Okay, we've got a question from Josh McLean. I've seen some of your comments in the other videos, so thanks for watching, man. I appreciate everyone coming back and watching. I got off with Service Canada Friday. The restaurant I was working at had to close its doors. My file for EI is under review. Do I have to wait to the decision to apply for CRB? Okay, I kind of just touched on that. Rewind about 2 minutes, has your answer. But if your EI file is under review, if you're qualified for EI, you can't apply to CRB. Is the way that the CRA has put it, and that's their recommendation. So that's what I'm going to say as well. Okay. What does it mean as valid SIM number? So for those who don't know, SIM number is it's your SIN number, SIN number, and that's your social insurance number, and that's the number that the government. It's a very private number that the government gives to every person in the country, and that's what they use to identify you as as an individual. So that's what they're using when you call into the phones or you make your account to verify, hey, this is actually you, because you're the only person that would know this number or have it. Yeah, I'm bad because I don't know my SIN number off the top of my head. I have it stored in a couple different places to remember, but I really, for my own good, should get to memorizing that, because it can be a hassle to get access to it. All right, another question. All right, let's get to it. This is from Blessed Gideon. Please, if I am denied EI, can I apply for CRB through the CRA? The answer, as long as you are qualified for the CRB based on all the other requirements that you can find on the CRA website or in that CRA guide video that I made, then yes, you could apply to the CRB. All right. So now, yeah, Josh, you're welcome. He's saying thank you. Your videos have helped my anxiety over the wait period. I'm glad to have helped, man. I really am. I really hope that this is helping for a lot of people. And yeah, it's a tough time for everybody, so I'm hoping it's helping out. All right. Let's see. The best hero. Okay, yeah. So you've commented on a bunch of my videos. Thanks for commenting, dude. Or I'm saying dude all the time. When I say dude, that's gender neutral. Sometimes I don't know your gender, but I say dude a lot. So that's just anybody. That's my way of saying friend. I've heard about the last application for Serb. Is that true, and when to apply? So we talked a bit about this. Right now you can retroactively apply for period 7, the last period of Serb, but rumor on the street is October 19th they're going to open it up so that if you qualify for previous periods, you can go back and apply for those. Now, I haven't seen that on the website. I need to go back in and dive in and see if they've updated anything. But Nick from Nick's Taxes also runs a YouTube channel and talks a lot about this stuff. And he's saying in his videos that it's October 19th. So that's what I'm going to say for the time being, too, that you might be able to do that. Extra Money says, will CRB be released tomorrow for sure? Yeah, I'm fairly certain that tomorrow is the day. Yeah, at the beginning, I was a little unsure because the language in the website said more information about how to apply will be available on the 12th. But it's gotten to the point where I'm assuming that is when you can apply, because they would have updated us if that wasn't the date. All right. And again, sorry you guys if I'm not getting to your question. I'm trying to do my best here to get to as much as I can. Kaylin says, Russell, I have 1,400 insurable hours and was approved for 39 weeks of the new EI. Can I get CRB when my EI is exhausted? Yeah, if you qualify for CRB, the fact that you were on EI doesn't disqualify you. And that 39 weeks leaves you with, what would it be, 23? Is that right? No, 13 more weeks of the year. So you could apply for CRB for those extra times after your EI has lapsed if you don't have a job still at that point. All right. Okay. GW says, Russell, are you on Patreon? How can we donate you a $5 ball for your efforts? That's really not necessary, and I'm happy to help out. I'm not going to accept any money for this. It's a tough time right now for everybody. So yeah, don't worry about it. The best way that you can help me out and say thank you is to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and try to share this video and this channel with as many friends as you can. I really love making these videos about the CRB topics, but I just like making videos in general. And as we go into the future, if people are finding me helpful on this topic, I'm hoping to expand out once people's attention isn't as much on the CRB, to expand into other sort of finance topics that can help people out. So the number one thing you can do to help me out in the future is to stay tuned to the channel. I really love making the videos and talking with all you guys, and it's been really enjoyable for me, and I really feel like I'm helping at least a little bit. So yeah, that would be, don't try to give me any money or anything like that. It's not the time right now for that. I think you should hold on to your money given the current world situation. So not going to take your money, but subscribe to the channel, tell your friends if it's something they'd be into. And even when we eventually transition away from the CRB, stay tuned, watch the videos. That's all I can ask from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really enjoying being able to help this many people. So I feel really blessed to be able to do that. Dirty Red Rive says, hey Russell, I signed up for EI before the pandemic. I didn't have enough hours. Those hours that I did have would be void now, right? Or would they still work? And multitude of question marks. So I'm not an EI expert. So I'll say that right up front. But I do know that if you don't claim your hours after you become unemployed right away, that in most cases, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in most cases, those you can't claim it retroactively down the road. So if you haven't just become unemployed, perhaps. So yeah, maybe this is something that I should do some reading up on before I give a definitive answer. I'm very confident about the CRB information and the CRSB, CRCB, but the EI side of things and ODSP and other sort of Canada Works, I need to do more reading on that, and I'll be straight up with you and tell you that. I don't want to give you bad information. So sorry I can't be more of a help on that front, but I'll try to do my best to get a little bit more information and maybe come out with a video for it. All right. Hello, Russell. If you go to the election, we give you all people voting you. I don't plan on running for any sort of political body soon, but that's funny. But I'll still be making videos, so stick around for those. Hope my question will be answered soon from Sam. Sam, I didn't see. Oh, okay. Yes, I see it. Russell, when we apply tomorrow, are we going to get paid start from 27th September? Yes. So the way it's going to work, you apply for a period at the end of the period. So I think this period it started September 27th. I'm not sure what the end of this period technically is. It would be 2 weeks after September 27th. Let me pull up my calendar. So this, I believe this period is, Sunday, the 27th of September to Sunday today. So today is the last day of the first period, which means once the period's over, which would be tomorrow, you can apply for the period. So you apply for every period, it sounds like, the day after that period is over. So you're going to be getting your money that would have counted for this 27th of September to the 11th of October. And a new period starts, and that new period you'll apply for after the 2 weeks as well. Before, we thought that you might be able to get 2 weeks at the same time, like for the old one and the new one right at the same time. But I'm fairly certain you're only going to be able to apply after the period's over. So it'll only be one at a time all the way through. I hope that helps you out, Sam. I know you've been waiting on that answer for a little bit, but I hope that helps you out, dude. All right. Okay, we got some more questions. Just liked and subscribed. Thanks so much, Real Kevin Thompson. That's the number one gift anyone can give me for doing this stuff, is subscribing and watching all my videos and supporting me just through watching YouTube. Yeah. Like people that are offering me $5. Don't give me any money. That's not what I'm after here. All right. Okay, question from YGTH Don, Young Don. How do I say that? When they asked, you have not quit your job, but I didn't. I was really sick. Can I I couldn't go back to work. Can I still apply for the CRB? So if you didn't quit your job, like 100, you didn't quit, then, and you qualify for everything else, then totally. And even if they're saying you did quit, as long as it was before September 27th that you quit or reduced your hours, then you could still be eligible, right? September 27th is when the information came out initially about the CRB and all these other benefits. So how could they have expected you to be following the rules for the CRB before that, right? So that's why they're giving you that day to say like, hey, if you quit your job after you could have already known about these benefits, then that's on you. Sorry, you don't qualify. But if you quit before that, or if you were fired or laid off, or you didn't quit after the September 27th, it wasn't voluntary quitting or reduction of hours, then you could still qualify if you meet all those other applications. Okay. So Kitchen 8 Cafe says, hey brother, I took CERB last time. Do I need to reapply for CRB? Just called the number and verified every month. So how did you get your CERB, Kitchen 8 Cafe? It sounds like you might have been getting it through Service Canada. If you haven't heard, Service Canada is now handling EI, and CRA is handling the benefits and the retroactive CERB payments. So if you're applying for those new benefits and you're not eligible for EI, you're going to have to do it through the CRA, either on the phone or through your My CRA account. Yeah. We're going to keep going on this stream here, guys. I'm going to take another 1 minute break here. I'm going to throw up my starting soon screen for the stream. I'm going to get another glass of water, take a quick washroom break, and I'll come back and keep answering your questions because tomorrow's the day. So I figure let's put in some good time here, hopefully to help as many people as I possibly can. But while I'm gone, if there's new people on the stream who weren't here the first time I asked, let me know while I'm gone, where are you from? When I come back, I'm going to read all the places where people are tuning into the stream from, and we're going to try to play Canada Bingo. If we can cover all of the provinces, all the territories, that would be pretty darn cool. And if you're from the States, let me know too, or a different country, because this is pretty Canada specific info. But if you're just tuning in for the supple sound of my voice, that's cool too. All right, I'll be back in a minute, you guys. All right, I am back. Hey guys, how's it going? Let's see where people are tuning in from. Gonna scroll up here. Okay. Let's see. First, okay. Angela's from Windsor. Awesome. GW's from Calgary. Vithujan V's from Scarborough. I seen you. Okay, yeah. I'm in the real estate industry, so I have a house that I'm selling in Scarborough right now. So maybe you see my face on one of those real estate signs. Yeah. Real Kevin Thompson from Oakville, Ontario. Cool. I have some friends out that way. We got Toronto, bro. That's awesome. I lived in Toronto for 5 years, around Dufferin and Eglinton. A little bit in Chinatown, too, for a couple of years. Oh, we got Brooklyn with a Y. So that's Brooklyn, New York. There's a Brooklyn in the Durham region that's spelled with an I. That's in Ontario. Rocksteady, Toronto. Rog Fred's from Ottawa. We got London, Ontario in the house. All right. Hey, somebody from India. Okay. And Quebec. Awesome. Venice Beach, California. Hey, from the States. We got 2 people from the States so far. New York, US from Bang Bang Ali. We've got someone from Mars. Oh, a totally different planet. Okay. I believe it. Nova Scotia. Oh, it's beautiful out there, Renee. That's awesome. Irini. I apologize if I got your name wrong. Eritrea. All right. Okay. Awesome. That's so cool. We've got a lot of people in here from different places. Now, I don't think that we won Canada Bingo because I didn't see any territories there. So yeah, if you have any friends from the territories of Canada, shoot them the link to this stream. Maybe we can win next time I take a break. But without further ado, let's get to your questions. That's why you guys are really here. I've got my water. I'm good to go, man. Okay. All right. Can the part-time workers apply for EI? This is a question I've seen a couple times in here. So I believe part-time work, again, I'm not an EI expert. My understanding is that unless you're not employed, you can't get employment insurance. So it sounds like you're employed for part-time work. So CRB could be right for you if you qualify for everything else. Yeah, I see lots of comments in here from people that are answering questions for other people. So I really appreciate that if you've been doing that. That's awesome. Okay. All right. I'm trying to find a question in here that I haven't answered. We're trying to get as many different types of questions as possible to help as many people out. Okay, here's one. We've got one from Oliver Jody. Oliver, how's it going? If I just work part-time, making under $1,000 per month, am I eligible? So I'm glad you brought this up because this is the frame of thinking of a lot of people, right? For CERB, the cap was $1,000 a month. You couldn't make more than $1,000. A pretty simple system. But now that we've moved to these other benefits, that's not how it's calculated anymore. It's not this hard $1,000 cap, like either you don't get it or you do get it, depending on how much you make. Now it's dependent on how much you made last year or in the past 12 months. And now you can't make more than 50% of what you made last year per 2-week period. So I talked about it a bit before, but the quick calculation is your total income from last year or the past 12 months, divide it by 52 to get to your weekly average income, and then multiply that again by 2 or just add 2 of them together to get your 2-week maximum income. And that's the max you can make in any given CRB period to still be able to qualify. I hope that makes sense. I go into it more in depth in the video on my channel where I'm making a silly face or like going like this or maybe like that and like cutting a $20 bill. That's the one that explains exactly how to do that calculation. So if you want to know more about that, that's the place to check out. All right. So we got somebody, Arlene, saying good luck to everybody. Hope it goes smoothly for all. New subscriber from Moncton, New Brunswick. Thanks so much. Yeah, and if you're watching this video, you're not yet subscribed, hit that button. That's the best gift you could ever give me. I'm hoping that a lot of people are enjoying this. All right, let's see. Oh, we got somebody from Stouffville. That's very cool. I got some family friends out there too. Stanley Mission, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Very cool. Okay. Here's a question. This is from Loai L. EL. Sorry for butchering your name. I know that's the worst feeling ever when somebody says it wrong, but I'll answer your question to pay you back for probably butchering your name. Question is, I'm self-employed. Last year I was studying, so zero income. This year, first 2 months, I made $8,000 pre-taxes. If I'm asked for proof, I can show bank statements and invoices. Would this suffice? So yes, the $8,000 would suffice to be the $5,000 minimum that you would have needed to make to be eligible. However, if $8,000 is all that you've made in the past 12 months or in 2019, then you're going to have a pretty low period limit for the amount you're able to make now. So if you're making $0, you don't have a job, you could still qualify, right? You could qualify for CRB. But if you're making some money, you could pretty quickly go over your limit, because your limit is made by dividing your last year's income across 12 months, across the 26 periods, right? So that's how you determine the number. It's a little bit what we just talked about. But that's the tricky thing. You could qualify, but you can't be making a whole lot right now in order to still be eligible. All right, say 90 says, can I apply for CRB even if I work full-time but still making less than 50% income than 2019? Yeah, so you can still be working full-time, but if you make less income than you did last year, 50% less, and you meet all the other qualifications, then yeah, 100% you could still apply. Tyrone says, is this opening at midnight? We're not sure. And it depends on midnight where, right? Different time zones across Canada. Not 100% sure when it's going to open up, but I'm just going to call in the morning. If I call, I mean, for me personally, for some reasons, I'm not eligible. I was for some of the other benefits before, but I'm not eligible. But what I will be doing is calling in and recording the process for you guys so I can post it up here so I can help you out. So I'm going to call in the morning, and I think that's what I would recommend to most people. So you don't need to stay up like it's a midnight release of the Avengers or something like that. No, you just do it in the morning because it's automated. You're not going to have to wait in a line, to the best of my knowledge. So just do it in the morning. Don't worry about staying up. Okay. All right, we've got... Okay, so Numismatic Kennedy is saying we should talk about how CRB is less than minimum wage. Yeah, if you're working full-time with minimum wage, I think that the numbers work out that it's less. Well, certainly they do. But is that certainly? Again, I'm not good at math on the spot. Somebody else can tell me the calculations in the chat box. There's probably people who are better at math in here than I am. But... I don't think we can really hold it up to the same expectations that it needs to be at a certain level of a certain amount of money, right? Like, it's so hard. Nobody's ever been through a situation like this, so it's hard to really know what's best and what's best for the Canadians. I don't envy the politicians who are going through this right now. Somebody earlier in the stream said, "Hey Russell, you should run for something. We'd vote for you." I don't want that kind of responsibility, man. Oh man. Okay, let's keep it going. Can you apply tomorrow for CRB? Yes, you can if you're qualified. Last year income was $60,000. Now I work minimum wage and 15, but work full time. Can I maybe like at $15 per hour? Can I apply for CRB? It sounds like you potentially could. You'd have to determine that you're making 50% less than your last year's income, which at minimum wage you might be. Right? It sounds like you might have changed jobs or had to leave your job and now you're working a different one. But if you qualify for all the other aspects, say 90, yeah, you could. Okay. Oliver Jody, thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, if you guys are watching this, hit the like button, the subscribe button. When you click those buttons, more people get to see this and I can answer their questions that they could be looking for. Plus, I love making these videos and you guys... give me the audience to help as many people as I possibly can. So the greatest gift you could do for me is sharing these videos with your friends and family and trying to get the message out to people, because I think a lot of people are anxious about this stuff. And I hope that I can take advantage of the fact that I've sort of developed an audience here talking about it, and I hope I can help as many people as possible. And on the other hand too, I really like making videos and I have a lot of fun doing it, and the fact that so many people are watching is pretty cool for me, and I've enjoyed that process too. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Hit those buttons, because we're all a slave to the YouTube algorithm. That's the way it goes. All right, we've got more questions here. Is there a phone number to apply instead of the CRA online account? Yes, there is. I'll show it on the screen here. Let me pull it up for you. All right, this is the CRB page. I've got my fancy button I can click here that can put me in the bottom right. Hey, I'm so small now. All right, so yeah, so this is the CRB page, yeah. So you're looking for your phone number. That's under how to apply. I believe it's here. Okay, so right now it says applications not open. So it's not giving you the phone number right there, but if you want to be prepared, what I will do is I'll go here, and this is for CRCB now. And this one, because it's already open, they tell you what the phone numbers are. And from when I called in for the CRCB, it's the same number, right? You can go right in there and you choose from a menu which benefit you're applying for. So it's the same number, and that's under how to apply. It says you should, like, the best way is to do it through the CRA account, and there's rumors that they might close down the phone lines. I'm going to make a video about that in the future. Not for these first couple periods, it sounds like, but maybe in the future. So I'd set up your CRA account 100%, make that a priority. But here are the numbers. They're 1-800-959-2019, 1-800-959-2041. Those are your numbers that you're going to call. And that's for any benefit you're applying for. That is handled by the CRA. So hopefully that's helpful. And back to me. I'm big again. Look at that. All right. Have some more water here. Hope you guys are enjoying this stream. I just figured I can get in touch with more of you this way. Can I work around? This is from Vithujan V. Again, sorry if I butchered your name. Can I work around 15 hours and claim CRB, but I have worked just over 50% more than my last year income because I was a youth but turned to 18. Due to COVID, I went from 4K in 2 months to 1K less month. Okay, so more than your last year income. So it sounds like you didn't make much last year, but in 2020, perhaps you made more money. So you can take your last 12 months and do your calculations based on that to make your 50%. So you're going to want to take the higher number of 2019 or your past 12 months income, because if you take a higher number, when you calculate 50% of that, that number is higher too. So that allows you to make more per week and still qualify. That would be my advice to you. And Jesse Carruthers, will you post the video tomorrow afternoon? Tomorrow, I'm planning on posting a video probably around 11 a.m. Eastern. And this video is just going to talk about, I'm going to do a walkthrough of how to apply through the website and what that looks like and what questions you're asked and what buttons you need to press. So I'm going to do that, and that's going to be the first one out tomorrow. If I have time tomorrow as well, I might make one where I'm calling the phones, but you might have to wait till Tuesday for that. I'm trying to get as much information out there as possible, but I try to make them a decent quality, so sometimes it takes a little bit of time, especially when this is my full-time job. So I've got to do some other work for my real estate sales business that's going on at the same time. So I'll do my best to get that info out to you as quickly as possible, though, Jesse. All right. Can we apply online as well? Yep. And I recommend it. Do it through the CRA website. That's the best way. All right. P. Nate Charles says, is it taxed already and not like CERB? We got 2000. So yes, they are withholding 10% tax from the CRB and all the other benefits that are coming out now. However, that's not the entirety of the tax you're going to need to pay on it. That's just most of it. Most of you will be paying an additional 5% tax on that to bring you up to the 15% income tax bracket that you're likely in. Again, I'm no accountant, but to my understanding, that's the base income tax bracket. So whatever your bracket is, you're going to have to pay that percentage on this money because it's treated like income in the terms of your income taxes. So yeah, don't assume that you can spend all the $1,800 and that all of the taxes covered, because come tax time, April 2021, you're going to have to pay that back. All right. But yeah, Serb 100% wasn't taxed at all. So make sure you're holding back some money. That's one of my biggest concerns, that people, like, that they won't be able to pay back the money that they owe via taxes because they're just not saving this money. That's scary for me. I think there's going to be a lot of people who owe money come tax time. So if you guys are on my stream, take a second and sort of try to figure out how much you're going to need to save, because most of us are going to be paying back money to the government from these benefits. So I hope that you're taking that to heart now that you're on the stream, and that can help you. I don't want you to be in a crap situation down the road. Okay. Got more questions here. All right. And thank you guys who are helping out in the comments, answering some questions. Brian A says, huge fan of your videos, Russell. That's so sweet. Please give a shout out to Duha and Oshawa. Hey, Duha and Oshawa. That's awesome. I live pretty close to Oshawa, so I know it quite well. I went to high school in Oshawa. Yeah, so it's a good place to live, I think, in a lot of ways. All right. Can I apply for EI by phone? I'm not sure. I think your best bet, though, is the Service Canada website. All right. Pro Canadian says, Russell, me and my wife are running a small business. Then COVID arrived. Business is gone. Also, my son, who's disabled and is 5 years old, UBE is 20% left. So my wife qualify for twice or once. I don't quite understand the question. I'm not sure what the UBE is. Maybe are you trying to say that's your unemployment and there's 20% left? If you're on employment insurance, my answer to you would be that you can't apply for CRB yet until that runs out. I that might not be touching on what you're trying to get at, but hopefully that helps. I was taken from Serb, but now can apply for CRB. Happy Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, thanks, Aster. I'm glad that CRB is going to work for you. All right. Sebel get a chew says, Happy Thanks Day, Russell. Let me keep my turkey. Yeah, I had my turkey at noon today, and that tryptophan put me pretty close to falling asleep there. I was watching a little bit of TV earlier, just trying to recover from that turkey. So I hope that if you had yours today, it was good, and that tomorrow goes smoothly for you, both for the CRB, but also if you're spending time with family and are able to make that work, given all the craziness in the world right now. Family is pretty important, but I hope that you guys have a good Thanksgiving. Nancy S. Hey, I know I've seen you on some of my videos commenting. I always read as many as I can. So if you guys have more questions I'm not able to get to, you can comment on my newest video. I tend to reply to the comments that are on the most recent video first. So if you want to get in touch with me, that could be a good way to do it. But yes, Nancy S. I was just saying you comment a lot, which is awesome. Hey, thanks for watching. You're saying, I made $44,000 last year, but this year so far I have made only $2,300. Am I eligible for CRB? Potentially. It depends on a 2 week by 2 week basis, right? You take your $44,000 and you use that to get to your total for the amount you can make every 2 weeks, right? You have to make 50% less than your last year's income or the past 12 months. So if you want to know how to do that calculation to find out the exact limit you can be making each and every period, then check out my channel. There's a video where I'm making a face like this or something, and there's like a $20 bill being cut. That one's about how to calculate that 50% and how much you can realistically make in that 2 week period and still be able to apply effectively and have it work out. So that's my recommendation to you. Yeah, that's a good video for it. Okay. All right. We have Clinton saying, I was laid off from my job this year in February. I didn't have enough hours for EI, then COVID hit in March. Okay, so if that's a question, it sounds like CRB could be for you as long as you meet the other qualifications. Should I save up to pay back the CESB during the income tax season? maybe not to pay back. You'll have to pay tax on it. And I'm not sure if it works in the same way as the CRB, where if you make over that cap for the year, that you need to pay some back. It definitely could. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't covered the CESB. I'm thinking of the CRSB. No, the Canada Recovery Caregiver benefit or sickness benefit is what I'm thinking of. But the CESB during the income tax season, yeah, you should certainly save up to pay the tax on it. And if for whatever reason you applied for it but you weren't actually eligible, you may be required to pay that money back at tax time as well. So make sure you have the funds there, because you don't want to be in the position that the government's charging you interest on the money that they initially gave you. So I definitely save the money so you can pay it then. Good stuff. My voice is starting to go here. I think I'm probably going to call the stream in a little bit, but I might do another one of these pretty soon. But I'm going to answer a few more questions here before we wrap it all up. Okay. We've got one that says, "Hi Russell, can I apply for CRB in 2 days or just tomorrow?" Yeah, so once it opens up tomorrow, you should be able to apply anytime. Yeah, so no rush to do it right away tomorrow. I believe that the next day and the day after that you'll be able to as well. Okay. If I have breathing issues, can I get CRB? Having breathing issues doesn't disqualify you, but you do have to meet all of the other criteria, right? It's not just one thing that is a yes or a no, and then you could apply and get it and qualify for it. There's a whole list of things you have to be eligible for. If you're looking to figure out what those things are, I have a video that goes super in depth on it. And not a whole lot of people watch it in comparison to some of my other videos, but I think it's the one that gives you the most information. It says on this side, CRB guide, and I've got like a face on it doing the stupid looking thumbnail faces. Just to help people click on the video so they can get the information they don't know they need. But yeah, that's the one I recommend for anybody who doesn't get their answer today. Check out that one first. That'll give you the most information. Okay. Okay, so you're trying to explain a little bit better. Business is gone, son's disabled, UB is 20% left, so my wife qualify for twice or once. I think that you can only qualify for one benefit at a time. I think that might answer your question a little bit better. Yeah, each individual can only do one benefit at a time. All right. So let's get some more questions. So my CERB direct deposit, same as CRB. Yeah. So if you had CERB direct deposit set up through the CRA website, then you should be all set and all good to go for it. And that's a good thing, because direct deposit is the fastest way to get your money. And thanks Tammy B for answering that question too. Okay. And Goodneat723 says, "No question, just wanted to say I love your channel for giving us great advice." Thank you so much. I'm glad you're watching it and you're enjoying it. For anyone who's on this stream who hasn't subscribed, make sure you hit that button. I'm coming back with videos like this most days. So if anything changes or if there's any information that you guys need, make sure to stay around for some of those videos. And that's the best way to support the channel and support me. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and that helps me out a lot. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, P. Nate Charles says, "Can you please give a shout out to my beautiful wife, Sharon?" Sharon, it sounds like you have a good guy there. P. Nate, he says you're beautiful. Chops. Sharon, that's your nickname, Chops. That's awesome. How's it going? I hope you're having a great night and a great Thanksgiving weekend, you too. Hi, Russell. You probably answered this question already. Will I be denied CRB if I file 29 until I file 2019 self-employed tax return? This is something I'm not entirely sure of. We're going to have to find out tomorrow, but I think that you might be able to, even if you haven't yet filed, because it's not necessary that they have this information necessarily, right? Because they want to have the 2019 tax information because that can help them determine what your income was for last year. But some people will be using the number that's the past 12 months instead of 2019. So there's no way that they're really going to know which number you're using to calculate. So it's a good question on if they're going to allow you to apply even if you don't have your taxes figured out. We'll find out tomorrow when we apply. Make sure you comment on some of my videos what happens with you, because I'm not personally in that situation, so I won't get any error messages if that's what happens. But that's a good question. I would say try to apply and see what happens from there. Hopefully that helps you out. Okay, yeah, it was from Martin Nixon. Thanks for the question, man. Okay, so Joe Gibson says, cheers, Russell Matthews. Cheers. I wish it was a beer in my hand, but it's a glass of water. I gotta watch my weight these days. I can't be having too many beers. All right. Why does my CRA EI connection is no longer available? I'm not exactly sure what that means, but hopefully you get it sorted out. My CRA EI connection is no longer. Maybe there was a way to connect them before in the past. I'm sorry if that's changed up on you. I know there's a lot of people transitioning from Service Canada to CRA, so some of your issues might be due to that. Yes, and Fitness Meets Gym says, please be careful with scammers out there. Thank you for the point. While I have your attention, you guys, there are some scams going around, and people will call you on your phone, and if you can pick up and they'll say, hey, they're basically trying to get you to give them your CRB money, or trying to get the information that they need in order to apply on your behalf and then send themselves the money. So don't expect the CRA to call you. If you haven't reached out to them and you're expecting a call, most likely they're not going to call you personally. So if you get a scam saying, this is the CRA, something about your CRB payments, don't listen to it. Always be more skeptical than trusting when somebody calls you unsolicited on your phone. Oh, and yes, also don't scam. So I think that you're also saying, like, if you don't qualify for these benefits, don't apply. The CRA is going to find out if you're not eligible, and you're going to have to pay it back. So what's worth the risk, right? And if you willingly know you don't qualify and you submit an application and receive the money, it could be more than just paying it back. The website says that it could be monetary penalties and potentially criminal. Is that what it says? Let me pull it up here. They say yeah, I can't find it on the website right now, but I know they do say that there's more penalties than just paying it back. It could be money, and I think there also is some law-based penalties that could be coming your way. Okay, so Victor Raja says, what does user ID mean? Is it a type of name or number? You're going to have to be a little bit more specific for me there, Victor. I'm not exactly sure where you're trying to log in. But if it's for the CRA website, then that would be the user ID that you made when you created your CRA account. That would be like your username for your login, would be my best guess. If you haven't done that already, you should be able to make an account right then and there on the website. I have a video where it says like CRB and apply, like in the thumbnail, and it's like rainbows behind me, like rainbow colors in the video there. And I kind of walk through how you can make that account if you haven't done it already. All right. Kamar Elder Dylan says, do I need to sign up for CRA if I'm with Service Canada? If the do I need to sign up for CRA if I'm with Service Canada? Yes, you do. That you can't apply for CRB through Service Canada, unfortunately. It's gone. So Service Canada is doing EI, CRA is doing CRB. So that's what the sitch is, and you're gonna have to apply with the appropriate government body. Maddie Oulette says, being an entertainer, so out of work, but have been making extra money only some months, so can I apply on the months that I have income and not the rest? Yeah, Exactly. That's the case. You can choose when and when not to apply. And again, they're not monthly periods; they're every 2 weeks. So you're gonna have to apply every 2 weeks that you qualify. But if you get some income that week and you don't qualify, that's okay. You don't apply for that 2 week period. But if the next time the money's up and down, you don't make as much then, and you can qualify, you can do it on a period by period basis. Hopefully that helps you out, Maddie. It's tricky being in the entertainment industry right now. That's for sure. Tammy B, I think you've commented on other videos, or at least earlier in this chat. Thanks for being so active. You're just answering the question from Michael Z. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys who are commenting and answering questions and being supportive. It seems like a pretty nice community we got going on here, and I really hope you guys stick around for more videos about this stuff. And in the future, when we get past some of the benefit topics, I hope to keep bringing you news and information that you could find relevant and an elephant together. Yeah, that you could find relevant. Yeah, I really like making these videos, and if I can keep being help to you guys even after the CRB stuff finishes, that's my goal, right? I love making videos, and if I can make this more and more of a part of my life, I'd love to do that. And I can only do it with the support from you guys tuning into videos, whether they be about CRB or about other topics that I might transition to in the future that could help you guys out. So that's the biggest gift you could give to me, is sticking around and and watching the videos I make, because I like doing it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Okay, here's a question. I've been getting this is from Connor Monroe. Thanks for commenting, Connor. I've been getting CRB through my direct deposit. Will I be able to apply for CRB tomorrow without hassle? Yeah, you should be. It sounds like you've set it up with the CRA and you got everything all set. If that's all set and you qualify, you should be able to apply for it tomorrow and then receive it in 3 to 5 business days for direct deposit. Thanks to everybody who's saying happy Thanksgiving. A happy Thanksgiving to you guys too. I really hope you have a good weekend. Hi, can I apply for all CRB periods? You're going to have to apply every 2 weeks. It's not just one button for the whole 6 months worth of time. Okay, Clinton says, if someone was laid off in February of this year, didn't have enough hours for EI, then collected CRB thereafter, would they be penalized because they weren't laid off from March 15th onward? Not necessarily. If you're making under the $1,000 limit for CRB, then you're not going to be penalized, right? As long as you met those qualifications, Clinton, then you should be fine. But if you didn't meet those qualifications and you kind of just messed up and applied anyways without knowing it, you're probably going to have to pay that back come income tax time. You have to be qualified for every period to get it for those periods. Yeah, here's a good question from Renzo Sabri. Sorry if I butcher your name. I checked my average weekly income and it's $500. Can I make $350 one week and $650 the one after? So that would bring you to a total of $1,000. Yeah, so yeah, that's fine. Because the CRB is calculated in 2 week periods. You really should be calculating your 2 week income. So for you, that'd be $1,000. And, so if your average weekly income that you can make is $500, based on the 50% from before, then yeah, you can take 1 week and the other week and put them together for your 2 week. And if that number is below your 50% that you've calculated, then you're still good. Yeah. So it doesn't need to be every week is under the 50%, but every 2 week period in total has to be under 50%. Julie W., thank you so much. That's nice of you to say. You encourage a supportive community. I sure hope so, and I hope that I can keep the band together for even longer after the CRB. I really love making videos, and one of my I'm glad I'm helping everybody, and I'm glad that this is all helpful. But one of my fears is that I really love making these videos and talking to you guys, and I hope that after we're through all of this CRB information that you guys will still want to stick around and listen to some helpful information that I have to say and make for this YouTube channel because I love hanging out with you guys, and I hope you stick around even after the sort of CRB information that you're initially here for is finished. Yeah. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you check out the rest of my videos. Thanks for watching, you guys. Miss Tree Live says, please do stocks videos. Yeah, so I have done a couple stocks videos in the past before I started making content about CRB. There's one that's called Set and Forget. That's like one of the ones that I've made. Yeah, that's kind of my area of expertise, is investing and how to set yourself up for a better future. I have content on house hacking, which is something that I do to make it so that I can live in my own house for less money than I would have had to pay if I was renting, by using some sort of unique strategies. And by renting out portions of my house, I can have a pretty low expenses per month, even while having to pay a mortgage and all this good stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that I know the most about. Yeah, but thanks for the kind words anyways. Okay, Yeshua's alive. Hey, you've been commenting on some videos. Thanks for hanging around. Do you get $900 every 2 weeks or $1,800 every 2 weeks? You get $900 every 2 weeks. $1,800 is your monthly total. Yeah, so you're going to get $900 every 2 weeks. Pro Canadian says, thanks, Russell. You deserve 1 million plus subscribers. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Renzo says, thanks, brother. Thank you to you for watching. Okay. Hey dudes, when does EI open? I think that's from Parva. EI is already open, so if you qualify for EI, you can check that out. Hi, what is total periods or month you can apply for CRB? Yeah, so the total is 26 periods, and the periods are 2 weeks. So that comes to 26 potential periods that you could apply for, but you can only apply for 13 of them. That works out to roughly 6 months of the year. So if you think you're going to need the benefit for the entire year, you kind of got to stretch it, right? If you apply for all of your CRB in the first 6 months, you're going to run out after 6 months, and there's not going to be any other benefits left for you. I don't think the Canadian government's going to put additional things in on top of this, and they're expecting you to make this last for the year. So make sure you're budgeting for that and you're planning for that, right? I know some people need the money all right now and they need it right away, and that makes sense, and you've got to do what you got to do, but try to stretch it. And that's why I say it's so important to try to get a job, because these benefits will end, right? They're going to end. That's the hard truth about it. So yeah, that's the tricky thing, right? Like, people should hold on to their jobs. There's some salty people who are saying, like, I've got a job and I'm working hard, but I'm making less than these people who are just on CRB, and that's frustrating, right? That I would be frustrated in that situation too, but they don't realize how lucky it is that they have a job, and that when these benefits run out, a lot of people are going to be in a pretty rough place. But if you have a job, hold on to it, because at least you're not forced to take these benefits, right? Having to apply for the benefits and get them, in my mind, actually is a worst case scenario, right? The goal is to get off of the benefits so that you can have a more stable future. That's the way I think everyone should be looking at it. All right. Jared Gifford says, are we getting 1,800 this week or just 900? Just 900. When you apply, you're going to get 900 this week. That should last you for 2 weeks. When the next period ends is when you'll be able to apply for the next 2 weeks, and you'll get your 900, bringing it up to 1,800 for the month rather. All right. Thanks for the comment, by the way, Jared. Glad you're watching. I wasn't working the entire time I was collecting CRB, then started working again in June, therefore didn't collect any more CRB as I was earning over $1,000 a month. My hours were cut in half. That's like a follow-up from your earlier question, Clinton. Okay, that sounds like you should be fine. Yeah, you're not going to have to pay back CRB if you were qualified for that period, even if you make over a cap, right? That 38K cap is just for CRB. The CERB is not affected by how much income you make, as long as you were making under 1,000 for that period that you applied for it. So you don't need to stress about that, other than saving to pay back the income tax that's on your CERB. Cyan Kaba Doob, I definitely messed up your name there. Sorry, my friend. But hey, Russell, what if we find the cure in a month's time? Will the benefits be canceled? My guess is that they wouldn't be canceled, because even if we come up with a cure, there's still going to be major damage to our economy and to the job market, and Canadians are still going to need support. And the way it works is that if there is a huge recovery, people will be getting jobs and thus will be not qualified for these benefits anymore. So with that in mind, it doesn't really matter that the benefits are still available if things get better, because as things get better, proportionally more and more people won't need to take the benefits. Or at least that's the idea. So I think that's how it's sort of structured to work no matter how the future plays out. I hope we can come up with a cure or with a vaccine or however people are planning on solving this problem soon. Yeah, it's been rough for everybody out there, that's for sure. Okay. I applied for UI, so EI. This is from Rob. I applied for unemployment insurance, which is EI, employment insurance, last week. Should I cancel it before applying to CRB? So if you are eligible for EI and you meet those qualifications, you can't actually apply for CRB. You have to exhaust all of your EI benefits before you can apply for CRB. You have to do EI first, then CRB. Hisham Al-Mali, does applying come online at 12 a.m. tonight? We're not sure, not 100% sure, but you can call in the morning because it's not going to be a long lineup because it's automated. It's an automated online and automated on the phones. Okay. Checking out these questions. Thanks so much for hanging around, guys. Yodi, good night. Yep. Thanks for hanging around. I'm probably going to call it here pretty soon too. Yeah, long live Canada. No other country takes care of its people as Canada. Yeah, we definitely are lucky to be in this country and to be getting the support we're getting. Now, there are still problems with our country and still things we can improve on, but I know personally as a Canadian born and raised, I feel lucky to be here. Yeah, especially with knowing what's going on in other places in the country and all the turmoil and what's going on south of the border. There's so much division, and there's division up here too, but I'm definitely glad to live where I live. And I think that everybody here should at least be grateful for being Canadian. Yeah. All right. Do CRB applications come online at 12? Yeah, so I answered that a little bit earlier. All right. Just saw this live feed. Amazing. So CRB will work for people who did not have a job before and are still looking? Yeah, it will, Jordan McMillan. It will, as long as you meet all the other qualifications, right? And you've got to meet every single bullet point on that big long list. If you want to get the most information about it, I made a video called CRB Guide. I think or at least the thumbnail says CRB Guide, like the little picture has my face like, and a book behind it, and CRB Guide. That's the place for anybody who doesn't get their answers tonight from this live stream. Check out that, because that's the best place to go for it. You know what I'm going to do, guys? I think I'm going to stay on for maybe another 15 minutes. I was going to call it at 9:30 because I do have to work pretty early in the morning, but I'm still seeing some questions. So I'm going to stick it out for another 15 minutes or so with you guys, try to get to as many as I can. But I have to take a quick washroom break, going to grab some more water. So I'm going to throw up that starting soon screen, and I'll be right back. I think a lot of people who are here weren't here last time we did this, so I like to do Canada bingo. If we can get everywhere in Canada represented here, that'd be pretty cool. Drop where you're from in the comments. It's interesting to know where you're tuning in from. So give me your city and your province or wherever you're from, or if you're from the States and just trying to get some information, let me know down there. I'm going to read it as soon as I come back and give you guys shout outs for the people who do that right after. So I'll be back in like 1 minute. See you soon. Okay, everybody, I'm back. Thanks for sticking around. I hope I can answer some of your questions here coming up. But before we get back to that, let's do some Canadian bingo. We've got Rob from Alberta. We've got Rob from Red Deer, Alberta. We've got Jordan McMillan from Guelph. Sasquatch Workshop, I love that name, from Regina, Saskatchewan. Barry Ring has a question. I'm going to try to get back to that. We got someone from Surrey. That's Swaranjeet. Cat Scans from PEI. Awesome. Brampton, Ontario. That's from Walter. Mystery Live is on Ontario. Teaspoon, Kelowna. Barry is from St. John's, and Decoy 11 stands together with us. Okay, not a place, but thanks for that. We got some Quebec with Rachel, and Fiza's Edmonton, Halifax, Nova Scotia. That's so awesome. We got so many people in here. SWP, Toronto. Someone from Afghanistan. Very cool. From Kabul. That's amazing. All right, we've got Belleville. So many different places. I love this, you guys. Julia's from Langley, BC. Paul's from Belleville too. We've got some Saga West, Oakville. Cool. Got some friends out there. Montreal, Quebec. That's so awesome. Edmonton, Ottawa. So many. Winnipeg, Manitoba. Very cool. I think we've got a good amount of definitely the majority of provinces and territories. So that's pretty solid. That's amazing. Awesome. And Minnie just asked the question, do you work for the CRA? Why all the CRB videos? No, I don't work for the CRA. All of this is my interpretation of what's going on and what's been posted on the webpage. I'm no expert when it comes to policies with the CRA, but I work in the real estate industry, and I actually like reading contracts and legal documents and trying to interpret them for people. And I know it can be daunting to go onto a web page and see all this big wall of text. So my goal is to bring some information in a little bit more of a comforting way so people can understand it and maybe absorb it, and answer some of their questions about some of the dry sort of language that's used in some of the CRA web pages. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Minnie. All right, I'm going to stay on for another 15 minutes here, you guys. And hopefully I'll answer all your questions. Thanks again for tuning in. If you're still sticking around, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really like making videos, and I hope I get to keep on doing it. And if you guys keep watching, I'll keep doing it. So like the video and subscribe. That's the best thing you guys can do for me. Okay. So FISA says the CERB had something where anyone who made less than $1,000 a month could get CERB. Is there any benefits where that would apply? Unfortunately, that $1,000 cap isn't a part of any benefit anymore. What they're doing now is they're basing it on how much money you made last year compared to now, or 12 months in the past 12 months compared to now. You need to make that calculation for yourself. There's a video on my channel for it. I think it says 50% income on it. So check that out if you want to do the calculation. All right. Cat Scan, thanks for the kind words. Thank you. Elda, the number for CRB, let me see if I can pull that back up. I had it before here. I'll try to put it in here. Yeah, okay. So there's two numbers. I'll put them in the chat right now. These are the numbers that you can call tomorrow to apply online. Okay. So, trying to look for questions that we haven't really covered. I'm trying to get some more help out to people for questions that we haven't covered mostly. But drop your questions though if you have them, and even if we've touched on it before, I'll try to give a quick answer. All right. Yeah, so they want you to exhaust EI first before getting any of these benefits. So yeah, EI first, and then CRB next. All right. Yeah, and we had a question up here about can students apply? And yes, they can. Yep, this doesn't disqualify students, but you have to meet all of those qualifications that are on the page. So if you are a student and you meet all those qualifications, you're golden. You're still all good. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to look for your question. Okay, so your question is, so this is from Kashanth, Creation Solution. CRA recovery benefits is showing I'm not eligible to apply. My application not approved for EI in this case. How can I apply for it? Please do advise me. Okay. So it sounds like when you're going to the website, you're clicking the button and it's telling you that you're not eligible. Now, there's a couple things that could be happening here. If you were on EI before, or you have applied to EI, people have been getting an error code because the EI system is showing that they're still on it, even though maybe their EI payments have ended. So this could be your problem. If you're not approved for EI, you should be qualified for CRB so long as you meet all those other qualifications. If you have trouble getting into your account just for these first couple periods while you're getting it sorted out, try calling the numbers that I just put in the chat there, and hopefully that'll be able to help you out. I hope that answers your question more or less. Okay. So let me see. Can full-time students apply for CRB? Yep, full-time students, part-time, it's all good as long as you meet the qualifications for CRB. All right. Missing a digit on the second number. Oh, yes, I am. Good call. The last digit there is a 1. 2041. I'll put it in again. You're right. I put the wrong numbers there. There you go. This is the extra digit. Okay. All right. Let's see. This is from Romeo Lozada. How's it going? Hi, may I know if I'm qualified to CRB? I have full-time job already, but last 12 months my salary was decreased. You could qualify, but you need to be making 50% less than you did last year or over the past 12 months, depending on which one you want to choose to calculate that number. You'll remember CERB was just a $1,000 limit. It's a little bit different now. You have to calculate what 50% of your income was, and if you're making less than that. There's a video on my channel with me cutting a $20 bill. That's the picture on the front of it, and that goes through the exact calculations on how to get into that and figure out what your number is. Yeah, Kashanth, yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad that I was able to help with that question. All right, let's see. Okay, so Crazy Nacho says, question, would people who are earning EI through Service Canada have to fill out a report starting tomorrow? So if you're on EI, you've already applied for it and qualified for it, you don't have to change anything. Do what you've been doing. Keep getting EI. You've got to do EI first. If your EI expires, then you could potentially, if you qualify, go for CRB. There's my overall answer for you there. Okay, we've got a question from Marabato Gem. So I quit my job at the end of February so I could focus on my business full time. Because of COVID, I had to stop my business. Do I have to apply for CRB through EI or Service Canada? Let me just process this. So I can focus on my... Okay. I had to stop my business. Do I have to apply for CRB? You would have to apply for CRB through the CRA, not EI or Service Canada. Yeah, CRB is handled totally by the CRA, so that's how you would apply for it if you qualify. I hope that helps you out. But you do have to be showing that you're looking for work and willing to accept that work. All right. How long will it take to receive the email saying I'm approved when I apply tomorrow morning? Or will it say when I'm done applying on the phone that I'm approved? Corey, I think it's going to tell you on the phone that you're approved or not. So I'm glad that that's pretty quick for you. Yeah, at least that's how I believe it's going to work. And that's how it worked with CERB in the past. So we'll see when everything opens up tomorrow exactly how it works. And I don't think you'll get an email. I think it'll just tell you on the site. But that would be my best guess. So Bang Bang saying, hello, will the CRB be easily accessible like the CERB, or is there a verification stage that will be done? I think there's additional there's a checklist you have to go through to qualify, but also there's verification that some people could be forced to go through. Not sure what's going to trigger it for who needs to go through the verification process, but you could be required to provide more documents. Not sure how that's going to happen. If it happens to you, comment on my videos or send me an Instagram message letting me know that that's happening to you, because I'm curious about how that system works and why that works the way it does. All right. Ryan Howe says, does CREB, I'm guessing you're talking about Serb, CERB, count towards the total income? Yes, it does if you're calculating your total income for the cap purposes, like how much you're going to have to pay back if you go over the $38K cap. But the CERB doesn't count as your $5,000 income that you need to show that you made last year in the past 12 months. So it does count when calculating how much to give back, but it doesn't count for calculating whether or not you've made the $5,000 to apply. Hopefully that helps you out, Ryan. The Tao of Ken says, are you still alive right now? I'm reading it, talking to you right now. 100% live, my man. All right. Okay. Bab says, question. What about the CRB and using this time to take courses to upgrade or start a new business? I think that's a very good time to do that now, but you do need to show that you're looking for work right now. So, if you're going to school or you're becoming a student or trying to take courses, this is the perfect time to do it, but you have to be at least applying for work in some way and be willing to take it while you're doing those courses. Teaspoon says, Russell, thank you for being a pillar of knowledge. Aw, sweetie, during these very confusing times. I got here late, so I have so much to catch up on. Yeah, Teaspoon, I'm going to leave this live stream up on the channel probably for another day or two. Before taking it down, just so people can go back and look through it. And I may, if the timing works out, I may do another one of these tomorrow night to help people decide on if they're eligible or not and answer their questions. But thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate that. I like helping people out and doing this, so that's nice of you to say. Jason Carter says, will we need to send in extra documents? Maybe. That's maybe if you enter that verification phase. Nobody knows what's going to trigger that, whether or not you're in the verification phase, but there could be a chance. So Crown T, you're asking how much can I make and still take CERB or CRB? It's different for every person. It's based on how much you made last year. How much you're making now is determined. Like if you go over the 50% of what you made last year. I'm sort of speaking in circles a little bit now, but check out my video that has me cutting a $20 bill on the picture for it on my channel. That tells you the exact calculation on how you can figure out how much you can make in your CRB period and still be eligible for it. Okay. I'm going to keep going through this. Josh says, thank you again for the great information. Yeah, you're welcome, Josh. I'm glad it's been able to help you. I hope it's been able to put you at ease a little bit during all this. And Ryan, you're welcome. I'm glad to answer your question. So Romeo, I think I answered your question a little bit earlier, but yeah, it has to be about that 50% decrease for your salary in order to still qualify. All right. Yeah. Fitness meets gyms gives good information. Keep record. If you're applying to jobs, keep records that you're doing that, and like maybe take screenshots of your Indeed applications if you're doing it on that, or Canada's Job Bank, which is the national job service that they have. Make sure you document it. Keep notes of what you're doing. So if the CRA ever comes knocking, you can say, hey, I was looking for a job, I swear. Yeah. It's good to have it in writing. All right. Does applying for work mean you are applying on the government site so that they can see? What if you're an entrepreneur looking for clients in your business means working? Yeah, so Babs, that's exactly right. If you're self-employed, just keep logs of what you're doing in your own business, right? Show that you're actually doing something, because if they come and say like, hey, were you even looking for work? You can say, yeah, I was looking for work from the perspective of my self-employed business, and here are all the logs that I kept along the way to show that, yeah, this is the case. I was doing this work and I was actively looking for clients or looking for work in my area. Hopefully that helps you, Babs. Vanessa says, I've been hearing a lot about CERB turning into UBI in Canada. Could you please do a series on this topic? Yeah, that might be something that happens. I actually made one video on it a little while back. You scroll down on my channel, it says, it's kind of like a clickbaity title saying CERB, making CERB permanent or something like that. But I talk a lot about EI on that. It's like a 17-minute video. We watch a video about UBI and how it could help. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Just a heads up, guys, I'm probably going to end the stream in about 5 minutes. I've been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it says now. My voice is kind of going, and I got to do some work in the morning, but I'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so. Thanks you guys for tuning in. If you found any value in the information you've been getting, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I really love making the videos for you, and the fact that you guys are here means a lot to me, and I'd appreciate you sticking around and checking out my future videos and hanging out with me. I love getting to know you, and I try to read every single comment, so hit those buttons and it really helps me out. Share the video and the streams with people that you know, and that's all I could ask for you, or ask from you. Man, it's getting late. All right. Business says, is the $100 deduction just federal income tax or include provincial income tax deduction? I think that the $100 deduction is just federal. I need to read up on that a little bit more. I know that it's only 10% of the income tax, and I know usually people will pay 15% plus for their income taxes. So you're going to have to pay even more than that $100 deduction, at least. I'm not sure how that splits up provincially versus federally. But yeah, because I'm not an accountant, but I'll get into some more information about that. I'm actually planning a video for probably the next week or so that's going to dive into how much you could potentially owe on taxes for all of these different benefits. So stay tuned and hit the subscribe button, notification bell, because that's going to probably help a lot of people out, so that they know how much they're going to have to pay come April, and there's not a big $1,000 or multiple thousands of dollars. So yeah. A teaspoon. Whoa, that's a long live. Thank you. Yeah, this is my first ever live, and we're going on 3 hours here. I'm having a good time, and I like talking with you guys. So I'm glad you've been watching it and enjoying it. It's been helpful. How do people on social assistance get CERB? That's a good question. I'm not an expert on social assistance, so CERB is no longer a thing either. It'll be CRB. You check the CRB website. That'll give you all the criteria and how your social assistance could be affected. And I recommend, if you have a contact that helps you with your social assistance, or a phone number to call, I would call them and ask first, because I'd hate for you to be taken off of your social assistance benefits just to get CRB and then potentially not be able to get back on. That'd be a tough situation. So I'm not going to give you a straight answer for that, because I don't want to give you any bad advice. Corey says, get lots of rest and have a great Thanksgiving. I'll inform you tomorrow how the application goes. Here from St. John, Newfoundland. Yeah, please do that, Corey. Thank you so much for the kind words. You guys can already hear my voice going a little bit. It's been a while since I've talked for 3 hours straight. Okay. All right. Yes, I have $1,000 saved for taxes right now. Good, Minnie. I really hope that a lot of people are doing that. That's a very good idea. Yep, you got to be saving. Save. All right. Any last second questions here? I think I'm getting ready to pop off of the stream. And thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. Gonna have a nice, good sleep. I had my turkey dinner. I actually had a turkey lunch. We did it outside. We tried to keep it outside just to be socially distanced, and we wanted to do it under the sun. That's why we had Thanksgiving lunch this year. So I'm still recovering from the turkey. All right. But yeah, point is I'm getting a little bit tired. All right. Self-employed, can I apply for CRB? Yep. If you qualify for the other things, you can. If you make $1,000 from Uber or on the CB, are we allowed to make $1,000? It's not calculated based on your amount of money that you get. Like, there's not the $1,000 cap. You got to calculate based on your last year's income, the 50% income. Thanks for the kind words, you guys. Any info on the $20,000 business loan? Yes, that's something from my previous video from, I think, yesterday, GOD. Thanks for watching that one, by the way. I don't think a lot of people watched it, but I'm glad you did. Talking about the $20,000 loan that businesses can get. If you're a small business, the one caveat, you'd have to have had a business account at a bank before before the COVID happened, essentially, so that people couldn't just like make accounts and get $20,000 loans even though they didn't have a business account already. That's what they're doing to try to like determine that you actually have a business and had one before COVID happened. And so that's how they're deciding who gets it, which is kind of crummy for people who were just financing their business out of their own bank account, but that's what they're doing. Hope that helps you out, GOD. All right. Oh yeah, Scott McGregor. I'm sorry you're going through that, dude. That could be tough. Flat Earth channel says the Earth is flat. Interesting idea. It better go smooth. I hope it does. Thank you so much for your videos. I'll let you know how everything goes. Thanks, Pulse. Keep watching and keep updating me. I want to know how it goes for you. Tao of Ken, been glued to your videos for days. Thanks for your efforts. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Sleep well, Russell. Thank you, Nikhil. Thanks so much. All right. May I switch from CRB to CRCB and vice versa every other period? Yeah, you can. You can switch back and forth. The only thing is you can't get them both at the same time. All right. Any word on that? Yeah. So Jody, I just answered that a little bit. I want to go back to work. 20% interest-free loan for new or existing small business. Yeah. So that's for existing small business. You had to have the business account with your loaning bank before COVID started. Babs, I'm not sure about that. If the child tax benefit is considered income for CRB, you'll want to check out on the website for that. Last couple questions. Can students apply? Yes, if you qualify. Decoy, I hope we get back to work too. Thanks for all the help. Thanks, Russell. Can students apply? Yep, KitKat, you can apply. You can apply even though you received a student loan. The student loan isn't income. Can you get the CRB? Is your working low wage job when last year you were working a higher paying job? Yeah, you can. You can. You can if you qualify. Renee is saying go to bed, Russell, and I think that's a very good idea. With that said, you guys, I'm going to call it there. Thanks for looking out for me, Renee. You're taking care of me here. All right. Well, to everybody who's still on the stream, thank you so much for watching. If you didn't catch the whole thing, I'm going to leave it on my channel so that you can watch it and go back. Hopefully you're able to do that, get some more answers. And I hope that helps you out. If you're sticking around, hit the subscribe button. I'm coming back with videos every single day with info on this stuff. And if your answer wasn't questioned here, oh my goodness, if your question wasn't answered here, I guess I am tired. If your question wasn't answered here, I have tons of videos on this stuff, you guys. So go check out the channel. If you like it, subscribe. But your information should be answered there. Number one video that should answer your question about CRB will be the one that says CRB guide on this side of the thumbnail. And it has like my face going like a clickbaity, crazy face thumbnail. I have to do that stuff to get people to click on it. That's how YouTube works. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. Hit subscribe, send it out to your friends. I love doing this stuff. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody if I don't talk to you before then. And I'll see you soon. All right. See you guys later.